All right. I call this meeting back to order at 8:21 a.m. on Monday, July 8th, 2024. May every member of the committee please state their name for the record. This meeting may be visually or audio recorded.
Matthew Bravo.
Joshua Yatcher.
Daniel Weinberger.
Adriana Slade.
Aaron Rubai is chair, Senator Monson is clerk, and then every other member, please state your name.
Senator Austin Burton.
Isha Khan. Senator Kira Wilson.
All right, with 5 members of the committee present, quorum has been established. We are now in line for the consideration of SSB 2024-1425. All right, so this was authored by Majority Party Leader Cipher. This is the same bill that was submitted. Okay, so we're waiving presentation and Q&A. We're now in line for 5 minutes of debate. Starting now. Yeah, this is the same thing that was submitted last semester. Honestly, don't feel like dealing with this right now. How about we table this? Okay. It's too early for this. Is there any more debate? Seeing none, are there any motions at this time?
Move to table SSB 2024-1425 by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes.
Which number was that?
Oh, actually, I need to change this number
Okay.
because Damien texted me after I made the doc.
Oh, because the budget bills.
Yeah, so this is clerical, so you don't actually have to make a motion for this. 1425 is going to become, and I'm going to talk about this later, 1435 and 27 are the same bill.
Yeah, that's.
Yes.
I had submitted some last week, and then
I
submitted everything.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to either make this bill 35 or 27, your pick. I'm thinking 27 because it came before both of them.
That sounds good.
Okay, cool. So that is 1427. Let me actually amend that. Okay.
You said 27 and 35.
Yes. I just deleted 27 from the doc, so it's not going to be confusing. Update. Okay, cool. We're now in line for the consideration of SSB 2024-1426. Slight restructuring of 552 Act by the Vice President, Laura Thomas. We're now in line for 5 minutes of debate, starting now. All right, fairly simple. I believe this is a good edit to include ISA in this list. As for the summer terms, this is now in line with what is the case for executive agencies. So I think this is very reasonable. Is there any other debate? All right. Seeing none, we're now in line for any motions at this time. Are there any motions?
I move to pass SSB 2024-1426 by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. Let me clear out all the documents open on my computer. All right, we are now in line for SSB 2024-1428. This is the Debate Normalization Act, Volume 1, authored by Senator Britton. You have 5 minutes whenever you are ready.
Okay, very simple codes revision. It's very similar to 1429. Just realize there's potential for people to push through things through committee if you're on the committee and you're authoring bills that are going through that committee. So 1428 deals with judiciary, basically saying if you're on the committee, you should refrain from discussion during debate because obviously you're biased towards the outcome of that bill. Obviously, there's a couple caveats. If everyone in the room has authored a bill, if the chair's authored a bill, they have additional responsibilities. You can't say, you don't count towards quorum because then you cut up into quorum. So it's just saying, please don't talk. If you have issues, you're allowed to do that debate under normal procedure to make sure you still have a rigorous debate. So trying to just make sure if you author a debate, or if you author a bill or resolution, that you're letting the committee decide as a whole, and obviously as you're biased, you're not trying to push that through too much during the debate portion where you're supposed to be discussing the merits of the bill. And I'll waive the rest of my time.
All right, 5 minutes of Q&A, starting now. Do you have any questions?
So I understand where you're coming from. Just one of the big problems I see here is is the third one. Should majority of the members that sit on the committee, the authors, all members, will be allowed to debate under standard procedure. I feel like it kind of like undermines what the rest said. Like I see what you're saying, and I think of the Supreme Court case recently where it was the Harvard affirmative action case, I believe, and Ketanji Brown Jackson actually sat out of that case because she was on the Harvard Board of Admissions. There's like things with that. But I feel like I see the intention here, but line 3 kind of, can you explain that a bit more?
It's kind of like, I was thinking, in an extreme case, what if, everyone but one person had authored a bill, right? Under this, only one person is allowed to talk during debate. Debate has already been ruined at that point, right? So you still want the bill to be debated and have those discussions, so I don't want to ban most of the people in the room from having those talks, right? So, this would just go back to normal procedure as it is right now if there's the majority. But it was kind of just making sure that in any case that multiple people can still have that debate over that resolution and bill and figure out what the best case scenario is for it, That was kind of the attempt behind that.
Gotcha.
Are there any more questions? Seeing none, we're now in line for 5 minutes of debate beginning now. All right, so here's my opinion of this. Is I do see why this was written. My only thing is I don't believe, because this isn't necessarily a conflict of interest thing. The point of being on Judish is that you are educated on the 5 criteria, and therefore the debate portion realistically should be specifically about the 5 criteria. And they have specialized knowledge as they sit on the committee of the 5 criteria, how it's applied to similar bills in the past, and therefore their assets in debate if they authored the bill. I mean, other members of the committee can be aware that they might vote yes on their own legislation. I think that's a fair assumption to make. But I think the debate is useful because these aren't things that are supposed to be answered during presentation and final privilege. Those are things for overarching stuff about the bill itself. Debate is supposed to be about the 5 criteria specifically. And I think limiting people who have extensive knowledge of how the 5 criteria applies from debating. If I had seen examples where the author of the bill took up the entirety of the debate period, that this would make sense if it made sure that everyone got a chance to speak. But how I've seen it so far, when in the past 3 semesters, where members of the committee author legislation, either they speak for a minute or whatever to address if another member brings up a 5 criteria issue, and that way they can address it during debate, which is the period that I believe it's meant to be addressed in. So, I see where this is coming from, but I don't like that we'd be prohibiting someone with that specialized knowledge from debating on legislation that they authored. Is there any more debate? We have 3 minutes.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Man, sugar-free Red Bull does not taste the same.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I think if there was a bias, let's say, obviously I make a legislation, and obviously I'm going to vote yes on that, unless there's some reason that my legislation was totally wrong or whatever. But there's going to be at least 4 other people here that could say no to that. My voice isn't going to be the one that decides it. We have that time during Q&A to really ask questions, but during debate, what's trying to be prohibited here, you can't ask questions, correct?
I would say probably not, no.
Yeah, so, I mean, I feel like going off what Aaron said, you're going over those 5 criteria, and I don't believe that really is a violation.
Is there any more debate? Seeing none, round line for 2 minutes final privilege, whenever you are ready.
I respect what you guys are saying. I think the attempt here is to prevent an issue before it would arise, to your point where you don't have those examples of it happening in the past. I think it is something that, could prevent those sort of, having one person on the committee and having a bunch of, yes men around them to say, you're going to pass whatever you go through, without having a nice, rigorous debate and allowing people who haven't authored it to have an unbiased opinion, have a majority talk there. If you guys say you're going to, table it or fail it, that's your prerogative, and I agree that having the specialized information is very important to have that discussion. I just wanted to make sure here that when you're having that debate, the debate is, really focused on those 5 criteria. And if you have someone biased taking up that debate, which I'm not saying is happening, but could happen, then you might get away from focusing on those 5 criteria. So that was the sort of attempt on those things. And I waive your estimate time.
Can I speak as a sponsor, actually?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm one of the sponsors, so I can actually speak.
Yeah.
If y'all have the issue of it being like prohibited, I talked to the Chairman Revi recently about this. Y'all can change it to like recognize last if you're the author, just so that everyone does have a progression of being able to speak. Because the fact of the matter is, the chair does recognize people. If not saying that you, but a chair in the future could speak the whole time if they really felt like it. If it was their prerogative about their own bill, it is a possibility. It could happen. I don't think it will, but it is an attempt to, I guess, mitigate that. So, if the wording is that dicey, that is possible to make that change to accomplish the same aspect.
All right. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you talk.
Yeah. Waive the rest of it.
All right. We're now in line for any motions at this time.
I don't know how to ask this. Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
Can you say again what the change that you wanted to make? Just the wording that you want to say that the author would be
It would be
recognized last,
Out of the
but they
rest.
would still have a chance to talk,
Yeah,
as
'cause
long
they-
as everyone else have a chance to talk before them, of course. I don't know how we're supposed to discuss that now, but I like the
Yeah.
idea, so.
And you can always amend it
I know,
for the meeting.
I just wanted to hear what you guys thought about it.
All right.
I like that idea. I could,
Yeah.
okay. Can I say I move to amend SSB 2024-1428 to reflect the wording that Senator Monson wanted to include under, I can say it, but let me, maybe under C section 7, under 2, or maybe under 1.
Oh, I lay the committee at rest.
Yeah, sorry.
This is still on the record, by the way, because we're not recessed. Why don't we just make it so that you cannot speak for more than X amount of time during debate?
It's up to y'all. It's like,
Just like in general.
But what if there's
No,
only like
'cause what
2
if there's
people
someone that-
debating?
I see no problem with having.
Yeah, no. It's per
Yeah,
occurrence.
Oh, okay.
I see no problem with having.
Because this still allows. I see your point about the filibustering through debate. I mean, this still allows for every other member to do it. Why don't we just cut the whole thing out?
His main concern was that
Yeah.
it's the author.
I think the more pressing concern is that people could filibuster the entire debate period. I think that's a reasonable thing to talk about. So why don't we just make it so that no one can do that? Like, you can't speak for more than, say, 2 minutes at a time.
it's a little.
I
It's a little
I think we should
limiting.
table this, and that should be the bill. Because that way, if you could speak for 2 minutes, but no matter what, there's 3 minutes remaining for every other member of the committee, no matter
To
what.
Author the whole committee, because like this was intended for the author itself, because the
I know.
of the author.
I'm fine with
Are you
tabling it,
saying
but I don't know.
limiting the times for each person during debate?
I know what you're saying. I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. I get that, but I'm just saying that was the original intent of the bill, was going to be.
I know. And that's why, yeah. Thoughts?
I'm fine with tabling it, but I don't know if
It's,
I would.
wait,
No,
Your bill.
I mean, I there's a lot of different ways you could take this. I agree, like, stopping everyone from filibustering solves, like, I think, tangential, but the same issue, you know? I think if you table it, I mean, Hunter and I can go back and talk to you and, like, try to figure out the best path forward for this as well. I think that's fine. We're not in a rush to get this passed this week, so.
cool.
I think if we were to do that, have it limited, I think 3 minutes is probably better. 2 minutes is just like, I've seen people on this committee talk about bills for exceeding 2 minutes, and it's good commentary, but I feel like limiting it to 2 minutes, you can't really get out what you need to get out. You're very like pressed for time, kind of.
You can go back and forth though. It's like at that
Yeah.
one moment.
So, like, say I were to speak for 2 minutes, and then you were to follow up and speak back for 2 minutes, I could come back again, as long as I don't exceed the 2 minutes initially,
Gotcha.
because that way at least there's minimum of 2 people.
There's some stuff in Robert's rules where you have to give everyone the opportunity to speak at least once before someone's allowed to speak a second time for that phrase. So you could probably tie in a couple of those things to make sure everyone gets their opinion in before someone would continue another 2 minutes.
Yeah. We also be careful about wording this, because if it says, like, has to be the last person to debate, it would have to be something more like if no other member of the committee wishes to debate, because we can't say last, because then if someone doesn't debate, then it can't come back. I think we should just table this. All right. I put this meeting back in order, or whatever the wording is for this. Okay. Are there any motions at this time?
I move to table SSB 2024-14-28 by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. All right, we're now in line for SSB 2024-1429. DNA Volume 2, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Same thing, different committee, wait for my rest of my time.
All right, 5 minutes of Q&A. Are there any questions?
This is for the budget committee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something else that they don't have to discuss as many things, but you know, they should follow the same kind of standards, so.
All right. 5 minutes of debate beginning now.
I think we should just table it, same thing.
Okay, so I actually think there's a difference here. 5 criteria knowledge is specialized, not as specialized as budget knowledge. I do not think we should be limiting members of the budget committee from speaking who authored the legislation, because oftentimes they're the ones who know the most about it, and it's very obvious. They also don't have there is debate, but it's not the same type as what you see in judiciary. I love us. They're a little bit nicer to each other sometimes, at least from what I've experienced in the past. I don't think there's an issue of filibustering for budget bills in particular, especially through debate. And I do think there's very, very valuable information that the members of the committee have on this stuff. For example, if Damien speaks to someone in particular that the chair is someone who has interactions with, I think that needs to be prefaced before the debate, like as soon as possible in the debate. So I think for Judish it's more reasonable than for budget, because I think budget has more constrained knowledge on the subject matter. Is there any more debate? Seeing none, 2 minutes found privilege whenever you're ready.
If they're an author, they'd be able to preface it. I mean, I agree with you, because I've been to multiple budget meetings. I agree that Damien and the chair usually has the most extensive knowledge and the most connection to a certain bill. But again, like, it's not, if there's no one else wishing to debate, he could talk and debate for exactly the same period. Again, it's not that he can figure it out, but I see both ends of it. I see, because the fact budget has very specialized knowledge, but I'm also like, if they were to author it, they could present and they could discuss it, but it's whatever. I would.
All right.
Yeah, wait there, sorry.
All right. Are there any motions at this time?
I move to table SSB 2024-1429 by unanimous consent.
All right, there's been a motion to table by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. We're now in line for SSB 2024-1430, the Third Readings Clarification Act. Seeing as there's no author or sponsor present, we're going to move directly into 5 minutes of debate, beginning now. Okay, I actually really like the H edit. H is really nice because it is very confusing. Right now it goes into second readings, which is kind of complicated. Nothing else does that, and I don't know why we don't just redo it. because the point of overturning a veto is different than the point of amending a bill. Because if you amend the bill, you kind of concede that the veto should be upheld. I do think we should add an amendment here. I don't know. I'd make this like a G1. Like I just put a 1 in there. And that vetoes received within the final week of the Senate meeting are not withdrawn. Because I think if they're submitted too close to the Senate for us to actually consider them to either overturn or uphold, then we've actually limited our own powers to check the executive. Because, I mean, lose that right entirely after a week. And I think that's a violation of the Constitution. Any thoughts?
Like a G, like under G.
Yeah, like I'd put a 1 specifically. Like, see how under I there's like the Roman numerals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably do the same thing. All right, is there any more debate? Seeing none. All right, we're now in line for any motions at this time. I can make that motion if people want me to.
Yeah.
Do I hear a motion to amend SSB 2024-1430 so that a section I, or 1 in Roman numerals, is added below the G subsection, which reads, vetoed bills that are received by the Senate President within the last week of a legislative session are not subject to be withdrawn by unanimous consent.
So moved.
All right. Yeah, just give me a second. I think I just put this in red. I don't think I actually put it in green. All right. Are there any more motions at this time?
I move to pass SSB 2024-1430, 1430 by unanimous consent.
All right. There's been a motion to pass by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. We're now in line for, all right, do I hear a motion? And this is the only time I'm going to do this today. To move into consideration of SSB 2024-1491 by unanimous consent.
So moved.
All right. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in line for 1491. I did not change all of the numbers. Oops. Okay. It should be updated now. Probably. Okay. You have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Okay, hi. This is a resolution advocating for the creation of a committee/mentorship program for dance minors. I used to be a dance minor. Now I'm a dance major. a lot of minors have voiced this to me personally, and I can definitely like understand the sentiment based on when I was a dance minor. Basically, there's like a giant mentorship program for dance majors, and it's really beneficial because the program is extremely small. And dance majors often want to get involved more, but they don't really know how to. It's very like separated, the major and the minor, unfortunately. And I think that there's a lot that can be done in terms of mentorship for the dance minors. And there's also committees within the SATD, the School of Theater and Dance. And I had spoken to some of the faculty in Proviso about having this mentorship program potentially be under those committees. And they seem to like the idea, but no movement has really happened. I understand it's summer, but I think that this would further push it. And yeah, I see the rest of my time.
All right, round line for 5 minutes of Q&A. This is a really cool idea. I didn't know they had one. That's awesome. So is it specifically for freshmen?
I think that the program ideally would, start with incoming freshmen, or at least like maybe after they've come to school, because sometimes it's hard to know who's minoring in something as a freshman. But the program for majors does begin like prior or as soon as they get to UF. So ideally, like maybe a few weeks after when they join.
So, I apologize if you just mentioned this, but could this be expanded, not just freshmen, just anyone who recently joined? So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Awesome.
and that's how it works, I believe, as well with the mentorship for majors. And that's something I'd like to look into more for transfer students, but yeah.
Do you know about like how many freshmen per year come in through the major or minor route for School of Dance?
I believe it's somewhere. I don't know off the top of my head. The information was actually like incredibly hard to find. I had to like ask the advisor, but I believe it's around like 20 to 30 for the major. Probably a similar number, if not more, for the minor.
Okay.
Is there a committee for the major?
No, I think the committees are throughout the SOTD, so that encompasses dance, musical theater, acting, costume design, amongst other things. And the committees currently cover things like curriculum, season planning, health and safety. I personally never tangibly seen what comes out of these committees, but that is what they fall under.
Yeah, I was just wondering because the mentorship program, there's one that exists. I didn't know if the committee was something that also existed or not really yet.
Yeah, not for minors.
All right. So, do you care if I amend the title to say committee and mentorship program because I can't save a file with the slash?
Yeah.
Also, there's a few other edits, like in the final therefore clause, it says the process needs a comma. There's an extra space here or there. Other than that, I think it looks good. So, okay, yeah, wait.
Can I amend it to add Isha as a sponsor?
Absolutely. We'll do that later on. All right. Are there any more questions? Seeing none, we're now on for 5 minutes of debate. I think this is great. This is like what resolutions are for. Reached out to the people that actually control this type of stuff, follows it up with legislation, hopefully follows that up with more communication. I think this is awesome. And I think it'll actually be really beneficial to students minoring and stuff. I've had way too many minors that I've added and then not added. And it's really difficult to actually get involved in community, especially when you're not a major. So I think this is very cool. Is there any more debate? Seeing none, 2 minutes of final privilege.
I don't really have anything else to say. Yeah. Sorry.
All right. Are we online for any motions at this time? Oh, okay, yeah. Also, just going to point this out. Great proviso. Great proviso. I love it. That's the hardest thing to get right. Okay. I'm going to just amend. Okay. Do I hear a motion to amend SSB 20241491 to remove
Slash.
the slash in the title, replace it with the word and, to add a comma after the word process in the fourth whereas clause, to delete a space before the word and in the 5th whereas clause, and delete the word and to strike the word the in the final therefore let it be resolved clause and replace it with from. All right, by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. Do I hear a motion to amend the sponsors line or authors line? Which one? Sponsors line of 1491 to add Senator Isha Khan. Don't transportation caucus me. That's crazy. Deputy Minority Party Leader Khan by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. That was the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. When I was adding him, he's like, actually, I was like, no. Huh? I haven't been home and my apartment AC is destroyed for some reason. Huh? I took one, I just haven't brought it out yet. Hey, I put you on them. I'll buy you one. Yeah.
Actually get an upgrade and free beverages at my hotel.
Okay, 4.8 stars.
That's crazy.
Throw it on the Marriott review.
Free?
I'll buy you a bag.
No. Hopefully you took from Max's.
Which was the one that was open, yours or Max's?
Mine.
So I definitely took yours.
Sorry.
Hello?
The V8 drinks that we discussed.
I'm gonna rule that
yeah.
dilatory.
They're awful.
It was disgusting.
Okay, I'm kidding.
For
the sake of the record,
Oh
Alex
my
Riggs
god.
lived
Yeah.
Wait.
For the record. Yeah, just.
Yeah, Senator Alex Riggs is entered.
All right. So we have 6 members. Yes, we have a buffer. That hasn't happened. Okay. Do I hear any motion at this time?
I move to pass SSB 2024-1491 by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes.
Yeah,
Woo! And I get to rename it.
and it's your birthday tomorrow.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Party at
We got a lot of them this semester, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, minimize the birthday. Not that I was making fun of him.
Minimizes the birthday.
He said there's a bunch this semester.
Who else?
I didn't.
Nader.
Thank God it didn't happen to me. My birthday
I was
on a
absent
weekend,
when my birthday happened. That was lit.
Your birthday was when?
On a weekend.
Oh, when?
September 21st.
Did you forget?
Just lied. My birthday is March 30th.
Why'd you do that?
You should just lie. You should just let her on.
It's
Okay.
sometimes
All right,
it's
wait.
like, yeah.
We're gonna keep this going because we don't have that much time, and there's a lot of bills. Okay, we're now in line for SSB 2024-1431. We're now in line for 5 minutes of debate. Now, yeah. Okay, yeah. I figure Blake submitted this for a reason. That kind of makes sense. So that we at least have the affiliations on record. Does anyone have a problem with this? The email lists are crazy. Okay. Seeing that there's no more debate, we're now in line for any motions at this time. Do I hear any motions?
I move to pass SSB 2024-1431 by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. Oh, I love when that happens. Oh man, he just wants all the emails. We're now in line for SSB 2024-1432. We're now in line for 5 minutes of debate.
I don't like it.
Wait, why are we?
What?
Why
This
is
makes
pro tem
sense. because he has to announce the vacancies. So
Gotcha.
that makes complete sense.
That's valid.
Okay, are there any anyone have a problem with it? Nope. All right, no more debate. Any motions at this time?
I move to pass SSB 2024-1432 by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. Okay. We're now in line for SSB 2024-1433. I can't read. Okay. We're in line for 5 minutes of debate. I lay the committee at rest. Okay, so when it comes to this bill, he's just restructuring the exclusionary offices for the executive. I like that it's restructured. It makes a lot of sense. I believe he added one or two.
He added a couple.
He added a
Student
couple.
Government Accountability Agency.
Yup. Thank you.
Didn't add one though. Didn't add gas.
Gas.
He's add gas.
Yeah.
And his bridge is the right thing. It is, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Isn't gas gender and sexuality protection
Agency.
Yeah.
Do you,
in there?
do you see that somewhere?
Yeah. Oh, it is there.
Oh, it is there.
It is
Oh,
there.
he's awesome.
He is on top of it. He's I read it as gas boys, not the flag.
Okay. This is going to suck to amend for me, not for you guys. Actually, a quick amendment.
Yeah.
You can just copy it.
Can I ask why you switched it to agency head? Just because it's
old codes for everything.
It says
Everywhere
agency
else
head.
Says agency
I-
heads, and it kind
okay.
of pissed me off to see chairpersons everywhere.
just. I actually asked some of them and said, "What would you prefer to be called?" And literally all of them said agency head.
Yeah, that works awesome. I've only talked to Riley. That's it. So that works great.
Yeah. So
Actually, I'm Victoria. Bobo. So.
okay, cool. Yeah, I talked to Victoria too. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna just strike yours later on, and I'm gonna change this. Do you want to be an author on?
I'm gonna be a co-author of Blake. Hell yeah.
Okay. Usually I'd ask him, but you did literally the same thing, just with agency
Blake
heads.
likes me. I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah. All right.
President John Brinkman. Hello, sponsor.
Dude, star-studded. Got Blake, you, and Brink.
All I'm gonna say is there's an odd one out.
It was worth in there.
I don't think so.
Also, I hate the letters though. I do hate the letters. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like that it goes up to T. That's ugly to me.
T.
Yeah, it looks ugly. I'm a Roman numeral person.
Unfortunately, the codes do this, so.
I know. I hate it.
Okay. I call this meeting back to order. We're now on for 5 minutes of debate. Yeah. Everyone agree with what was just said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Seeing no more debate, now line for motions. Do I hear a motion to amend SSB 2024-1433 so that every instance of the word chairperson is replaced by the words agency head or agency head with apostrophe S if it pertains to the specific thing? Well, yeah. Parentheses S. By unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. Shoot. Do I amend this now? Do I? Can I? Oh, I can control
Yeah, you
command.
can do
You want to be an author?
Yeah.
What is it on a Mac? Because I just got a Mac.
It's Command F on the Mac.
Replace.
Hey, congrats.
Thank you.
You can find and replace.
Okay, I found it. Technically, you can. We're not. I don't care.
I used to
Um,
have Lenovo's, and now he left me behind and got a MacBook. That's crazy.
I know it's so nice.
Can you put him in the office?
Oh yeah.
I hear. So I moved to amend SSB 2024-1433 so the author line reflects that Senator Hunter Lawson is an author.
It's because the edit, his initial bill. Yeah. Are there any objections?
No.
Seeing none, the motion passes. See, because he has chairperson in all of the things before
Yeah.
it's stricken. All of them will be changed unless I can filter.
I mean, you can always just. Do you think it's easier to reformat that, or do you think it's easier to put agency
Wait,
heads?
I have an idea.
Do you type this all yourself? You do all the changes yourself?
Yes. I was told very explicitly when I became chair that the secretary should not be making edits until it hits the floor.
Oh,
So,
they're not paid enough, that's why.
yeah. So I'm going to command, what is it? Command X? Yeah. And then just put it back. Oh, I think this is a great idea. Wait.
Did you try changing your judiciary chair picture while you're at it?
I'm doing that today because it's ridiculous, and I have a new computer, so I don't even have the email.
It's funny.
I don't have.
It's really funny.
I don't have the. Why is it putting numbers everywhere? Why is it putting numbers? No, I just copied and pasted it. Why is it doing this?
Rubai, you have to take a new headshot. Like your LinkedIn headshot is like from like 7th grade, it looks like.
Dude, bro, that's crazy.
Damn.
No, my aunt took that
I'm
in.
mad at him.
I think it's from my senior homecoming.
Dude, you're
Damn, boy.
outdated. Did ATO not give you a headshot?
I look so bad.
What?
I look so bad.
Photo for LinkedIn.
Dude, composite photo is
I've seen them
crazy.
all over
It's
LinkedIn.
it's not the best look, man.
It's funny though. It's really funny.
I feel a little bit taxed.
Ooh,
Oh.
my bad.
Wait, what happened?
I think you look dashing probably.
Why?
Exactly.
He looks great. I look horrible.
My LinkedIn is.
You might want to change that judiciary chair
He's just a
photo.
dashing fellow.
That's what
Let
I'm
me
trying.
add
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but I don't even have access. Okay, wait. Everyone check the document. Wait, everybody check the document. Please tell me it updated for all of you, and all of the words now say agency head.
There's some
Agency
weird
chairperson.
formatting
Okay,
stuff.
refresh the page.
I see it personally.
Is there any weird formatting still with the numbers on
No,
the
it's
side?
good.
I can tell you
Lovely. All right.
Okay.
I'm currently the sole representative of the College of
By the way,
Public
external
Health.
affairs.
Okay,
only
I
allows
won't
have
follow
one-
you back.
What?
External
I won't
affairs has
follow
one
you back.
agency head.
We don't even need LinkedIn. What is LinkedIn gonna do?
That's true.
It does.
I'm just
Wait.
gonna send it in
External affairs has one. It has an
If
S
you don't
on
have me
it,
back,
so
you're
just
gonna
go
be
with
upset.
S.
Sure.
Yeah, just like.
I have a lot. I have a lot of
I feel like
followers.
if
I
there's
was gonna say I'm in external affairs. I should know this. I don't know if they were allowed to have. I don't know if they were allowed to have two or if they.
Actually, there is
Just
one
text
small
what he
difference between Blake's and mine. I added accent controlling, by the way, which I feel like is perfectly normal. Because there's SGP controlling, but not accent.
I'm gonna wait on that to ask him about that. I think that's an edit we can make from the floor if he's open to it, because that's substantive.
Yeah, it is, but I would just say that's one of the
Yeah.
things I have.
Do you have a special title, or are you just a senator?
I can be transportation caucus vice chair if you want me
I'm
to.
not doing that. I'm sorry.
I am the
All
vice
right.
chair.
Do I hear any more motions this time? Seeing none. Wait, there actually be one.
Yeah, I moved to pass SSB 2024-1433 by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. Fire. Are these all still renamed with the numbers at the top? Yeah, I have to do that. Okay. We're now in line for SSB 2024-1434. No author or sponsor present. We're now in line for 5 minutes of debate. I need to make an amendment to this. This is technically wrong. Where it says, where is it? The SG Print Lab is the only location on campus that allows for free printing for all students. That's wrong. So I guess I'm just going to strike that.
One of these still stresses the same point.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also,
Yeah.
not a committee, but you need a bed.
Yes. Why can I not edit this? Hello? Huh?
It's gonna be a long time.
Whenever we don't have 5 people. Okay, I actually can't edit this document.
Oh, cool.
I don't know why. Hello? Yeah, can anyone else edit this document, or is it like weird?
Go to Aldi, 69 cents for a liter of sparkling water. What? Yeah. It makes me feel like I need
If you click edit document, does it let you edit the document?
Where
Click more.
Lord.
Uh,
Am I operational?
yours doesn't have an edit document section.
Yeah, I don't think we're able to.
All right, well, we can make the amendments. And then, Hunter, can you get this verbiage exactly? Because I can't actually amend it in the bill right now. I mean, we're in 5 minutes of debate right now. Yeah, we just have to strike that. So what did you guys suggest? What was the wording change?
I move to amend SSB 2024-1434 to include one of in front of the only location on campus in the seventh in the sixth whereas clause by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections?
And put an S. One of the only locations.
Oh, and put an S after locations by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. Do I hear a motion to amend 1434 to strike the word and, comma, and the last whereas clause and add the then, comma, by unanimous consent?
So moved.
Are there any objections? Yeah. Seeing none, that motion passes.
Where is it?
The last whereas clause.
Then,
And to them.
Come on, Blake.
Yep. Just looked in my bag and I just had some. It's perfect.
All right. Do we move to pass yet or no? All right. Do I hear any more motions at this time?
I move to pass SSB 2024-1434 by unanimous consent.
All right. Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. We're now in line for SSB 2024-1435. We're cooking, guys and gals. What? Did you send me another text message? Did I miss something?
She just like swung at you.
Okay. 1435. You have 5 minutes to present whenever you are ready.
Most of you guys saw this last it's summer A. Made some edits to it. It's calling for a ad hoc committee on climate. I've talked to Manish. We had a nice discussion over doing this. Obviously, he's going through his process of trying to get ad hocs formed. He seemed into this sort of idea of, going through the Senate and helping him so he doesn't have to have 20 background conversations. Obviously, this wouldn't be the main way of forming ad hocs. He would still have these conversations. At the end of the day, this would just be the Senate saying this is an ad hoc we want to do. Manish would make that final decision. This is just kind of helping go through that process and saying this is why we think this ad hoc is important. I'm calling for Manish to do it, and then Manish can have further discussions and form it or not form it at his discretion. I think it's pretty similar to what we had before, except obviously I removed issues that we had because I had copied a couple of clauses and things like that and made some edits to sort of the structure. And I wait the rest of my time.
All right. We're now in line for 5 minutes of Q&A.
Why is this guy named Ben Sass?
I was going to ask the same question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll agree with you. I was going through a lot of different things this last week, so I probably just put the reason wrong. It should just go to John Brickman. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm looking for this rule really quick. 1F. All right. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm still confused on the SMO versus ad hoc membership rules, but yeah, are there any more questions?
That was,
Actually, okay. I don't think the final two clauses belong in this. The last one actually not the last. Sorry, not the last one. The second to last one, and the third to last one, which is talking about the organization of the ad hoc, and then that we support a rule. I think that's redundant.
Yeah, the second to
we
last one
support.
also has the total committee size, which was the only sort of like substantial change besides that rule.
I also think
But-
that should, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I understand. I had put basically a bunch of extra stuff. I talked to Monique.
Yeah.
We weren't sure what to get rid of or keep adding, so that makes sense.
All right. Okay, we're now in line for 5 minutes of debate.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to put for the record, I'm not sure this is the best method to accomplishing ad hocs in the future, but I don't necessarily disagree with this at all. I do not think we should have the structure in here, but I think this has some good information in it as a resolution in and of itself. Yeah. I think this is good. I just think we should strike those two things.
Yeah.
Alright.
Is there any more debate? Seeing none, we're now in line for our 2 minutes final privilege.
We agree with
All right.
Can I speak as a sponsor?
Yes, you may.
Thanks. I think I disagree with trying to remove those last few structural things that you were talking about. Nice. I hear what you're saying as well, but this is just a resolution, right? It's not going to do anything, right? In terms of
yes,
changing things, but it's important, at least to the author of this legislation, to put it in there to emphasize that, right? Even as redundant as you say it is, I think it is important for emphasis.
All right.
Oh, thanks. I waited the rest of my time.
Alrighty. We're now in line for any motions at this time.
I move to amend SSB 2024-1435, striking in University of Florida President Benjamin Sass by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes.
You be able to edit it?
Yeah. The only one I couldn't edit was Blake's. Okay. Do I hear a motion to amend 1435 to strike the two therefore let it be resolved clauses that state, I'm just going to say, based on comprised of two members of each recognized political parties and the supporting the rules 10, section 1F by unanimous consent?
So moved.
All right. Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. Are there any more motions at this time?
I move to amend SSB 2024-1435 to strike the "and" in the what is that? The new final, therefore, let it further be resolved that clause and replace it with "then" by unanimous consent.
Replace what?
The "and" with "then."
Ah.
Yeah.
On the final whereas clause.
The
Fine.
new final. What is it? I mean, I guess it's third to last.
I think it's supposed to be "and" for. Am I wrong on this, Hunter?
It's not. It's not then. Let it further.
That's the
then.
last "whereas" clause.
Oh.
I think
my bad,
it's-
my bad.
Which one did y'all strike? I'm confused as well.
The two. One of them said the two members from opposing political parties, and the other "whereas" clause included the supporting Rule 10.
Yeah, that's the last clause. The Rule 10 is the last one.
No, it's not.
There's the,
No, it's not.
There's the duties.
Right of the finally one.
We're
It's the
looking
second
at
to
the
last
therefore.
and the third.
Anyways, I withdraw that.
Oh, I thought they were whereas clauses.
No.
Oh,
There are 4
I'm confused.
clauses.
I withdraw
Okay.
that.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. All right. Any other motions at this time?
Move to pass SSB 2024-1435 by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes.
Alright, I have to go. Alright, guys. I think I can try to come back and bring the class for a little bit if you're still doing it,
What class you got?
but biochem.
Oh, Jesus.
Let the record show
What?
it.
Okay.
There's my guy.
What does this mean? I'm confused.
I said amend Namaka Naidus to Naidu, Senator Khan to DMPL Isha Khan with a bunch of the double emojis.
We'll do it on the floor.
You like the
Good
clerical.
luck, everybody.
guy.
Shout bless you.
You're doing clerical stuff, so I was like,
Not with like 60 more bills to go through.
boy, you were doing clerical stuff with Caleb. Don't play.
Yeah, the one bill.
Yeah.
that I made an exception for and
This is
moved
the
up.
second bill.
Oh my god. You can do it on the floor because it's already passed.
Did you drive this morning?
I drove last night.
Interesting.
I just wish I had a bed to sleep on. Dude, my roommate texted me like on Friday, yo, our roof is leaking. I'm like, dude, did you like what do you mean our roof is leaking? He's like, oh, our AC unit. I'm like, did you turn it off? He's like, no. And then we
Aren't
called
you and Danny friends?
Huh?
You should have slept in Danny's bed.
I slept in his apartment.
Friends. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, I was
Wait,
on
your AC unit is dripping.
it's like flooding.
Okay, that happens when something's clogged. Mine did
Yes.
this and turned off last week. There's like a drip pan
It's
at the
the
bottom.
ours doesn't have a drip pan. It has a third-party PVC pipe that I've actually fixed before
Okay.
because our maintenance people don't come.
See, ours had a drip pan and it got full
Yeah.
enough my AC shut off.
Yeah.
As soon as you empty the water, it turns back on. So
Uh-huh.
if you had the same set, you could turn the AC back on temporarily.
Yeah, we had to turn the AC off because it was our AC unit was like the room was full of water.
Ooh.
So yeah, maintenance is coming hopefully today. Lions Corner.
I will give you a fun treat
Yup.
whenever I get a fun treat.
They're maintenance people. I rewired the AC thermostat myself.
So
I
expensive
love fun
though.
treats.
No, it's not that expensive.
How
I mean, it's pretty expensive, but that's also for university living. It's not that expensive. It's cheaper than my last year apartment.
Okay, it's cheaper. It's cheaper compared to like sorority row, I guess.
It's like mid 800s.
That's what I'm saying. It's cheaper than like sorority row.
Yeah, for how close it is to campus, it's
Where you live?
like Lions Corner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What's the exact apartment number too? Just kidding.
that's crazy.
I'm just kidding. I'm gonna try it.
They're trying to raise my rate though.
A single vision person knows my exact apartment number.
A single.
Tyler Shelbyland. He knows exactly where I live.
Why?
That's
We're
the one.
neighbors. We're neighbors.
All right.
That's why. It was really funny going to
How
SGI.
did you preface like that? You made it sound weird.
No. No, he's just like. Actually, no, technically Will knows too, but. Because I dropped. We went to dog that one time.
Oh wait, actually, I'm gonna lay this committee at rest really quick.
Alex, what's your last
Let me go back.
lyrics? How's it spelled again?
WIERICHS.
Nice.
She gonna find you on LinkedIn.
I'm gonna find him.
On LinkedIn.
What? I'm already connected.
Enough of this talking shit. Like done.
Gotta get the
No more.
Gotta get the
Are you telling me to
connections
stop
out.
talking?
Oh, yeah.
No stalking.
Oh.
It's like on record too.
Yeah,
If one of
this
us
is
disappears, it's on you. You're first suspect.
Yeah, we're still at
I
rest.
mean, if it was me, I'd also. Even though, like, we're friends, but I still
Boy.
suspect you.
What? It's terrifying.
Wait, what?
Okay, really quickly, I'm not gonna lie. There are so many resolutions in Guide. We cannot send them all to the people you have listed in every proviso. And I understand that some of them may apply, but there's just too many.
I made very general provisos with the intent that I assumed you would
Yeah.
have a lot of the people, and I'm okay like doing
Okay.
that to go through. That's fine.
I'm just letting you know ahead of time because
No, there's
Like-
really like the intent is the main majority of like them go together, and so
Yeah.
separating one at a time works for some of them, but it doesn't work for like the
Yeah.
first three don't work as separate by themselves really.
all right. Okay, I'm just gonna point this out there. Actually, do I hear a motion to recess to call back by the chair?
So moved.
Okay. I call this meeting back to order at 9:20 a.m. Monday, July 8th, 2024. May every member please state their name for the record.
Joshua Yachik.
Alex Wiggs.
Matthew Bravo.
Adrian Russell.
Aaron Rubai as chair, Senator Monson as clerk.
Senator Austin Britton.
Deputy Minority Party Leader Ethan Klein.
All right, that is the room. Cool. We're now in line for SSB 2024-1436. In the future, I might just call it Section 1, Volume 1. Hunter needs the... Actually, you need the numbers. Never mind. I'm not going to do that. All right, you have 5 minutes of presentation whenever you're ready.
So this is the first in a series of several bills, as you can see by my unique numbering system. Basically, we wanted to get graduate issues together and try to elevate them together. We obviously had a discussion where I submitted a resolution in Summer A, and you recommended going to volumes, and I decided that was way too easy for me, so I made too many of them. So the first section is dedicated to just kind of introduction, these three main topics: graduate students, RECs, and unions in general. Then we go into more of some of the specific issues related to graduate students. Section 3 is still issues, but some of them I thought had more applicable solutions that could be applied in the resolutions, like here's a step forward you could take. And then the section 4 is a couple of code revisions. So this is the first one. It's just going over graduate students in general. It introduces some of the issues they have, gives some background information on where graduate students are on some of these issues we're going to talk about later, and kind of resolves that we should address these issues in a very basic sort of text. So that's kind of the intent besides this one. And I wait the rest of my time.
All right, we're now lined for 5 minutes of Q&A.
Besides Ben Sass, I'm gonna amend that, obviously. But could you just explain everyone on the proviso, just like summarize it?
I feel like when we're talking about these main things, obviously if I send 17 resolutions to the Board of Trustees, they're not going to read a single one of them. If they're going to get any of them, I felt like the first 3 that introduce the issues are going to be the best ones for them. So I put 2 different people to try to do that. We obviously have the GAU co-presidents. They requested to be on there. Obviously Cass is one of the authors. We have the president for the faculty union. And then we have Chief Bargainer Patrick Keegan. He is my sworn arch nemesis. He's the one who bargains against GAU and UFF. And they have taken special pride in ignoring a lot of graduate issues. So talked to GAU and UFF. They've requested that Patrick Keegan get a lot of these things. If we strike him, I would be upset because I can't waste his day, but he would be someone who reads them. So I thought it would have to send it to him.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. Curtis Reynolds is like brand new. He's gonna get jump scared by these. He like just got hired.
Do you want to maybe not send it to him, Curtis Reynolds?
I mean,
For the first one,
business affairs doesn't really do much with
Gotcha.
like graduate.
Yeah, it's tough to find a single person on the board that like these would apply to the best. Each one, has very specific roles. So I wasn't really sure who the best one is. I'm not very well versed in what their specific duties are. If there's a specific person that it would apply the best to, I would definitely be open to just changing the names to them.
I just know that office does not interact with graduate students at all.
all right.
I like the chief bargainer being in there. That's really funny.
Okay. Yep. Any more questions? Seeing none, we're now on line for 5 minutes of debate. All right. Yeah, this is the opener. There's more. I believe 16 more. Not that I counted or anything. Yeah, some good stats in here. In general, there are a few people in particular that sending all of these things to is probably just not helpful. That includes Ben Sass, as much as we like putting him in the proviso. BOT as well, similar situation there. For the first bill, maybe I think we could be more lenient. For the rest of them, I don't really. I think this gets across the majority point for a lot of the bills. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. This is a fairly, it's just pretty informational resolution, and it goes into just supporting grad students in a variety of aspects. And I see these are all new language. We're excited is good. Yeah. Is there any more debate?
No.
17. Wait, how many sources are here? 20 sources. Crazy.
Wow.
All right. 2 minutes final privilege whenever you're ready.
One thing maybe, I don't know if this gives you ease of mind, but I took all the clauses from every single one and I put them in alphabetical order to make sure I didn't have any duplicate clauses. So there should be none of that. Some of them are similar and I've changed the wording on them, but they're all different.
Okay.
But yeah, wait the rest of my time.
All right, we're now in line for motions. Are there any motions at this time?
I move to strike the Vice President of Business Affairs, Curtis Reynolds, from the proviso line by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes.
I move to amend the proviso line striking President Benjamin Sass by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes.
I move to pass SSB 2024-1436 by unanimous consent.
Wait, wasn't there one other person we wanted to strike, or?
What about Husseini?
Up to the committee. On the first one especially, as we get more and more in.
I think it's chill.
I think it's fine. I think we're fine.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, it's chill.
Yeah.
Sass and Reynolds, and then we'll leave the rest.
All right. Any other motion at this time?
Do what?
I move to pass SSB 2024-1436 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. We're now in line for 1437. All right. Okay. We're now in line for 5 minutes presentation whenever you're ready.
Same thing, introducing these issues specifically targeted at RECs. These are the research and education centers that host graduate students. They host very unique issues, and it's remiss not to, give them the spotlight and have a specific discussion about the unique issues they face. There could be hundreds of GAs at any given time at a bunch of different places off campus and just remote, and they don't get a lot of support that we do being on main campus. So some of those issues are discussed here. Some of them we'll go into in some of the later ones, but it's more of an opener, again, just specifically targeting them. And I waive the rest of my time.
All right. We're now in line for 5 minutes of Q&A, beginning now.
What's the current minimum wage for GAs?
It depends if you're a 9 month or 12 months. So for a 9 month, it's 19,200. For a 12 month, it is 25,600. We are paid at 0.5 FTE, so we get 20 hours a week. So that comes out at a minimum to maybe $1,000 every 2 weeks, which is great. But when rent's $1,500, you're not getting a ton. So it's a very big issue, and that's raised from $17,000 and $22,666 as of last year.
Right.
So it is a raise, but that's the first raise we've gotten in like 5 or 6 years.
So essentially, if you're a GA at the University of Florida, another requirement is to also have another job if you want to live.
Essentially, but international students are banned from working more than 0.5 FTE. So they are stuck on whatever the university pays them. Some grad students are lucky and they can make more, obviously, if you're in a field that requires more, but our goal is always to increase the minimum, make sure the minimum grad student has the best.
Got you. So then how do international grad students subsist?
They either barely eat or they take out loans. We had this discussion with UF's bargaining team for the GAU last year, and their option when we said international students can't work more than 0.5 FTE was to take out loans to finish school, which really works when you're an undergrad. It can be really expensive for graduate school. We're already in debt. We already had to move here for most of us to be here. And taking out loans is just, it's not an option for a lot of international students either. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Can you explain the first, therefore by it be resolved clause?
Yeah, so one of the big issues that REC students face is just communication. Obviously, for GAs, if you're employed, you have health insurance. It's not great, but you do have data grad care. But there is not good information given to these RECs. They always complain that they haven't been told what their options are, what's going on. And so this is just saying there is a communication gap. It's not being improved. We need to improve upon that communication. So it's really just saying a dedicated communication channel. It is,
It's, sorry to cut you off. It's the let it further be resolved clause.
Oh,
it's
sorry.
dental
I was reading
coverage.
the first, therefore.
Yeah, you're good.
Dental doesn't exist. It exists, but you have to go through UF Dental. And UF Dental only has locations in Gainesville, Tampa, or Miami.
Oh, gotcha.
So if you are not in any of those locations, you have to drive to get your once a year cleaning that you're allowed through our dental care. So it's awful on every account, but
So the RECs, they're all throughout Florida.
yes. There's 33 locations. There's a map of some of them on the website. I think it's one of my links, but it is they're all throughout, so that can be very close to any of these locations.
So the cost of living is subject to where the RECs are and where
Yeah.
you live.
And it can change drastically. If you're near Miami, it's going to be way more expensive, but you still are at the UF minimum, right? So,
Yeah.
not saying it's cheap here, but
When you talk about the enhancement of student amenities at RECs, just give me some of your thoughts as to what that would look like.
living on main campus, we have access to a lot of sporting events. We have access to, obviously, the rec center and things like that, and RECs don't get access to that. They're very remote. They're normally nature-based majors, so they are very much doing studying of, like, different biology and things like that, and they don't have things around them. They can vary in size and how much funding they have, and so RECs, only they have grad students living on there, and they do work there, but there's not much around them for them to, like, have a life outside of work. And so just saying, ensuring that these people have, access to other things to do, and maybe helping with that sort of the scenario so they can do things outside of work.
Are there any more questions? Seeing none,
Yeah.
we're now in line for 5 minutes of debate. Yeah. I mean, they're going to get increasingly more complicated and things that I know less and less about. But it's cool. We're learning some stuff here. What I will say is purely from a clarity standpoint, the last 3 whereas clauses are about separate things. I understand that the point is the geographic barrier, but like this resolution does not go into increasing voting for RECs at all. So this whereas clause kind of deviates from the point, in my opinion. I do think the other two we can bundle together. Like, obviously, the language "no specific representation" is a bit confusing because technically their representation is grad seats. This makes it seem as if they have no, like, I understand feasibly they probably cannot be in Senate because they have to be here all the time. I will say that saying that they have no specific representation might seem as if we're precluding them from holding the seat in general, like specifically written that they cannot hold a seat, which might be a problem because that's just not true. So I'd advocate for striking the last whereas clause and amending the third to last whereas clause so that it says these students currently, or say there are no REC students currently serving in the UF Student Senate. That's it, though. I think the rest of it's pretty good. It's as general as I'd like them to get, because, I mean, the uniting factor here is the distance from campus, but there are a wide range of topics. Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty reasonable in terms of just formatting.
The only thing I'd add is if we just make the same changes to the proviso.
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it'd be-
Yeah, let me keep reading. Is there... never mind, it's fine. Okay, is there any more debate? Seeing none, 2 minutes final privilege whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I appreciate your guys' comments on these. I think it's important to leave something in there saying that they, do have issues from their distance, being involved, especially in Student Senate, which is a group they could use to help solve some of these issues. And it's very hard for them to have this sort of communications, but I would rest my time.
Okay.
All right.
So
Are there any motions at this time?
Sorry, we didn't talk about this one yet, but I move to amend SSB 2024-1437, the first let it further be resolved clause, eliminating the space in between the words Miami to create it to Miami by unanimous consent.
Where?
What?
Oh, there is
There's like a little space between that.
There isn't on my end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there is on mine
Okay.
either.
Yeah.
Interesting. Never mind, I was that motion.
All right.
All right, I move to amend SSB 2024-1437 to strike President Benjamin Sass and Vice President of Business Affairs Curtis Reynolds from the proviso.
Are there any
By unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. Do I hear a motion to strike Chair of the UF Board of Trustees name from the proviso?
So moved.
By unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes.
Where is it?
Do I hear a motion to strike the last therefore let it be resolved, the last whereas clause by unanimous consent?
Are we able to amend that somehow? So it's like,
The last one?
wait, which one? Oh,
Excuse me.
yeah.
Is there a way to amend?
Never mind.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to strike the last whereas clause by unanimous consent?
So moved.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. Do I hear a motion to amend, to strike the word and in the last whereas clause and replace it with the word then, and to change the second to last whereas clause to state that despite these distinct issues, no REC students currently serve in the UF Senate
So,
by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. Do we want to send every single bill to the chief bargainer and John?
I would love for Patrick to get all of these. It would make my day. And it would help the union's mission for him to get these things.
Okay.
I feel like John should get all the bills that are passed by Senate, being that he's the president.
Well, he gets all of
Yeah, he's supposed to sign them.
Yeah,
he gets all of them anyway.
Okay. Never mind.
That's-
It's like, we're good. Let's-
might as well.
yeah. Yep. Okay. Wait. Let me make those amendments. Can someone close that door, please?
They need to stop after that.
Thank you. All right. Are there any more motions at this time?
I move to approve SSB 2024-1437 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. I will say when we're amending, you could just say I move to amend. The bill number, like if it's usually I say it, but when there's this many amendments that we're making, I wouldn't. Also, when it comes to identifying clauses, I either use number from the top or number from the end, depending on where they are. It just makes it easier. And for the therefore clauses, just say like the second therefore clause, not the further, because some of them are labeled weirdly. But yeah, okay. We're now in line for 1438. Five minutes presentation whenever you're ready.
Same thing. It is related to the unions at UF. It's just an introduction to what they are, why they're important, some of the background. So as you go to the rest of them, they have sort of a background information on these. It introduces some of the stuff we're going to talk about later with some of the different bills that have been passed that are anti-union, some facts about why unions are important. Not a very long one, sort of shorter, but I think it pretty much gets the point across, and I'm ready to spend time.
All right, 5 minutes Q&A. I think this is one that was submitted before.
this is the other half. I split the,
Yeah.
the ones together. So this has a lot of the clubs that were involved in that earlier one.
A little off topic, but how long does it take you to make all this?
A long time. A long time. I've spent a long time making these, getting sources for each one so they're well researched, and putting them together and editing them. So
That's awesome, man.
yeah. I've been working on them since that we tabled that one in summer ed. So
Gotcha.
We're still in questions, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think the last whereas clause fits in this resolution?
I think it fits as far as like a benefit the GAU has, where it can help support these students that face specific issues. And if you think it doesn't involve there, you know, you can feel free to strike it. I think it furthers the idea that the union is helpful and helps support these students that are facing specific issues. It might work better earlier as opposed to the last whereas clause, because it kind of discusses the benefits of the union and then goes into academic freedom and then goes back to that. So the location maybe not be the best, but
Okay, wait.
Do you think international graduate students would be a better fit instead of just international students to that final whereas clause?
yeah.
In terms of keeping
Yeah,
the
but-
Yeah,
thing whole,
you
like
can
cohesive.
Where did you get the statistic that the demands are consummate with 1%?
My own information from
Okay.
Bahrain.
So
that can be linked to the UFGAU website. It's on their blog and they've discussed it before. So that could be assigned to link number 2.
let me look at that. Okay, so it's I lay the committee at rest. Yeah, so whenever there's a statistic in particular that I can't find like readily, I don't like it. I had the same thing happened at the end of the spring semester. It wasn't fun. So in general, when there's something like that's a specific citation there of 1% that I have no way of verifying on my own, and no person who reads this can verify immediately or even with like substantial effort, because I don't know where you find the price tag of the demands. I know you have access to the university's budget, that's public information, but I don't know, like I'm on the website right now.
Could you maybe amend it to say that GAU has estimated that it'll cost this much, and that it's not the Senate saying that we know it costs this much, it's more of a this group has estimated it?
If you can find me a link to a site that says that they estimated that that is the case.
I can try to find it on the GAU blog, but it would take me a couple minutes to do.
Yeah, we can take a couple minutes, that's fine. But yeah, just in general, like I need to see it somewhere because I stopped taking statistics at face value last semester.
So I also have a question. So I was looking through your sources. In particular, you mentioned Florida House Bill 256.
Yeah.
That is the 6th citation, correct?
Yeah.
So when I go on to the citation, it's Senate Bill 256. Is that did you mean Senate Bill, or is that like a different citation?
The numbers are very weird because there are multiple years of bills.
Yeah, it says SB 256.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be HB 256.
So is that the wrong citation?
Well, links 6 and 7 are kind of the same citation, which is.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Like what's the House version of this?
Wait, what was your question? Sorry.
So basically, he referenced House Bill 256. That's a 6th citation, but when I go on to that, it's Senate Bill
Okay, it should be
256.
Senate Bill 256.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
I'll
what it
run
should
that. Is that the only reference of the bill in the document, or is there more?
I'm not sure.
I think it is.
I think it is, because I wanted to just introduce some of the things. So I introduced that one specifically and then in other bills, so that should be the only reference to it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Where is that? Why can oh, there it is. Where's okay. For the same reasoning, the designed to cripple the ability, the public bargaining unit's operations and ability to organize. It's
Is the issue the wording? Like,
yeah, it's just like that is something that would be like an opinion of the legislation itself. The source of that isn't stating that it's designed to cripple bargaining units' operations and ability. And I understand some people may interpret that as the intent behind it.
We change that language to which limits public bargaining units' operations and ability to organize.
That would still be.
Well,
Yeah.
I need to read through the exact language of the bill because I read this a while ago, but it's been a while because we had a specific bill about this.
Because the bill, what it does is that it doesn't recognize
It's the
unions as like legitimate unless they have
60%.
60%.
It's
And
definitely
it
60%.
doesn't allow for automatic union dues, to be deducted from paychecks. Like automatically, they have to like go an extra step to get their union dues in.
We need to be.
No,
No,
we're at
we're-
rest. You could mention that it increases the membership requirement. And then if you have a source that says, which some have stated is meant to do this, I think that's very reasonable. As long as you have someone from some source saying that that is the case. Yeah.
Okay,
So I'd say for HB 256, we're going to change to SB 256. You need a source that says like something about the percentage probably, so that's purely a statistical analysis when it comes to reference 6, and then you should probably have another reference that says that like what the purpose of that is to do. And that should come from an external source probably.
okay.
Whether that's a news agency or whatever. And then I think that whereas clause about international students just does not fit in this in this resolution.
I
Like-
think what it's referring to is the limitations on international graduate students from specific countries, not like restrictions on hiring of them.
Yeah, the issue is none of the therefore clauses are about that. They're all about the continued unionization efforts of GAU, UFF, UCW. Like it's not about supporting specifically international students. It's not about that bill in particular.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Like, it's tangentially relevant, but not to what this bill is intending to profess. And there's also a few ands we have to get rid of, and a few thens that are in the wrong spot, but other than that, I think it's fine.
I'm trying to find the 1% statistic. I'm going through the blog right now.
Yeah, I think they've archived the blogs from when we were bargaining last time, because the blogs go from April to September, which I think is part of our
For
issue.
that SB 256, I found a bill analysis on that bill on that same link. I don't know how I can send you that link.
Oh, it's in the analyses
Yeah,
section.
under analyses where it
Gotcha.
says
Which one?
the post-meeting analysis or the pre-meeting. I don't know if it's different.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, okay. Just for productivity's sake, do you mind tabling this, finding information, and coming back to it? Because we still have 60.
My other question would be, I would like all of these to be sent to the Senate at the same time, so that's...
Yeah, we can come back to it if you want to do the research right now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Misunderstanding,
Yeah, no, I didn't mean for the next week. I meant for, like, during the meeting, yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
I move to table SSB 2024-14.
Have we gone through... I called the meeting back to order. Have we gone through Q&A yet?
We were. Yeah.
All right, is there any more questions? Seeing none, we're now live for debate. Seeing none, final privilege.
I wait.
Any motion at this time?
I move to table SSB 2024-1438 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes.
Section 2.
Yep. Section 2, Volume 1, 1439. 5 minutes of presentation whenever you're ready.
So this one starts going into the specific issues. So this is graduate stipends and no work. Originally they were two separate things, but they worked together because they kind of combine into graduate students being not paid enough for the hours they are working. So it goes into some of the statistics. It goes into why they reserve that. It goes into things like tuition waivers. And it goes through how that pay has changed over time. What the living wage is for Electro County, and then goes into that grad students should be paid more, and then the minimum stipend should be tied to a living wage within the county. It's not too long, and I wait the rest of my time.
All right, we're now on for 5 minutes of Q&A. 1 second, I'm looking for some stuff.
Did you mean top 6 public university?
Yeah, I probably did.
Gotcha.
That hurts. I
Yeah.
mean, well, depends on where.
It depends on the source.
Yeah.
Well, the source you
I
cited
think
has this at
it
6.
6. Yeah.
I mean, could you change the source to Wall Street Journal so it could be 1?
No, we'll change it to 6.
Okay.
Number 6.
We had it for a bit, guys.
Okay, I have some questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Where is it? Sorry, I'm looking through the sources right now. Just because there's a lot of stuff.
I had Amazon too.
Is it? Okay. Whoa, okay, let me go to that one. Okay. I'm gonna start asking some questions. I have a series of them. Okay. There are 2 clauses, 3 clauses that are reused from another one. I don't feel as if we should reuse them. That's the number. It's the
in here.
yeah 3rd, 4th, and 5th clauses. That's the number of graduate assistants, the number dedicated to instruction and research. That information was included in, I believe, Section 1, Volume 1. Same thing with the FTE and the other one. It shouldn't be in both. This is a substantial amount. This is 5 whereas clauses that are identical, which I think is an issue. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm trying to find those things here. Yeah, I mean, it's similar information. It was just it fits to one of
I
the
know,
more
we're just
kids.
citing. Okay. Because I like it more in this one than in the first one for FTE. Ugh, okay. Okay, I'm continuing on. The average salary per 0.5 FTE is, and then you have 85,000, 43,000. Where did you get the average? I'm looking at the source. I don't know how you got an average from this. Did you make an Excel sheet and average it?
Yes. For the salaries, yes.
Okay. Is there any way I could see that?
Not easily. It's not on this computer at all. I took publicly available data and copy pasted. Spent time.
That's fair, yeah. Because it's just 12,000 pages. I can't go through it all.
Yeah, it wasn't a fun time.
Okay. Same thing for the next one. Yeah, I can't corroborate. I'm going to assume you did it correctly and it came out to an exact number. I don't know how likely that is.
It is. It was, with pennies and.
I'm gonna insert the word approximately
Yeah.
to protect you as well from people saying anything about data, because that's how it always is. I'm interested about this until early 2024. Can GAs now work outside of university?
Yeah, if you're not an international student, but
Okay, cool.
before it was by department.
Okay.
They could ban GAs, so we got it. So departments can't do that, but
Yeah.
international students are still banned.
Okay, 0.5 FTE remains standard across UF with no GA being on 1.0 FTE. I find that very hard to believe.
That is the truth.
Not a single. Okay, I lay the committee at rest. Not a singular GA is 1.0.
Yes. The UF does not give GAs 1.0.
Not one person.
Not one.
That's kind of crazy. I want to go to the website and look at this.
This is just to the JU website. It's from discussions in the blog again. So
Okay.
Because then going to one FTE, they wouldn't be a GA. They would be considered something else. They would just be.
I think they would still be a GA depending on what their duties are, but they stated during Burger you did it again that they don't give 1.0 out to anyone. Some GAs will get up to 0.6 or 0.7, but they don't approach 1.0.
Okay. When you're talking about the slightly better than other employee waivers, what other employee waivers?
Which one is this?
First clause of the second page.
These are, if you are a full-time faculty, you receive 6 credit hours for free per semester.
Mm-hmm.
And so GAs are told that we get these great tuition waivers that are 9 credits for free per semester, but that's only slightly better than the faculty that also get them. We only get 3 credits more, and we are required to take them as opposed to faculty who aren't required to take them at any time, and we have to pay fees on top of that, which faculty do not have to take. So. And maybe it's better worded as GAs receive tuition waivers that only are a few credits better than other employee waivers.
Okay, and they pay per credit hour for, was that tuition and fees?
Yeah.
Is that just fees?
That is just fees.
Okay.
Because we have tuition waived, but fees. No.
So I'd want to add in fees per credit hour to that. As an econ major, I hate the CPI clause, but I think it's fine. There's a source for it.
Yeah, it's
I hate CPI. It's so wrong. It needs to be chained.
yeah.
As an econ major.
This is like the one thing that I've learned about in macro. I think we talked about some of these before. I'm trying to remember. I had more concerns on the ending data because I've seen these clauses before. The net position increased by. So the. Ugh. I think we talked about how a net position increase isn't necessarily the same thing as an increase in cash or assets.
No, I think the earlier version had it as an increase in the positive assets.
Yeah.
And we had discussed doing net position instead of that. We had discussed different ways
Yeah.
of doing that. It's just hard because starting in 2017, they had like a rule change, so it was a big drastic change.
Yeah, I remember talking
without
about that.
actually reflecting the change in finances. So I did net position, so it shows assets versus how much they are liable for, and then I did just a nominal increase from the last year to kind of show a scale.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to strike the 5 clauses that are identical, even though I think they're probably better in this one. I don't like repeating. Maybe we can keep the FTE part. I think that's more reasonable because this is specifically about FTE, but the other stuff, the numbers of them, it's already been stated. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to believe you on all these. Seems like you spent a lot of time going through that stuff. I can't even imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll make the amendments to the include only slightly more credit hours and other employee waivers. We could say faculty waivers.
Yeah.
When you say maximum number of credits per semester, can we just say 9?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, this is one of the more data-filled ones. God, 29% inflation, jeez. All right, yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, why not? Okay. I call this meeting back to order. We're now in line for 5 minutes of debate, I believe. Okay, yeah, those are all the debate things I have. I think we should just amend them all.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Any more debate? Seeing none. Now in line for 2 minutes final privilege.
Oh wait.
Cool. We're now in line for any motion at this time. Do I hear a motion to strike the following names from the proviso by unanimous consent? Ben Sass, Curtis Reynolds.
Are you doing Hosseini as well?
Yep. Chair of UFBOT. And SBP John Brinkman.
So
Right.
moved.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes.
I move to amend SSB 2024-1439, striking the word 5 in the first whereas clause by unanimous consent.
In the yeah. To changing to what?
So just striking it.
We're just putting top university. Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. Okay, cool. Is there a motion to amend to strike the 3 whereas clauses beginning with whereas as of fall 2022, the University of Florida employs 3644 by unanimous consent? Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes.
Also, sorry, I screwed up. So I move to amend SSB 2024-1439, adding public after the word top by unanimous consent.
Any
Because
objections?
citation.
None. That motion passes. Okay. Do I hear a motion to amend to change, whereas while GAs also receive tuition waivers, these waivers, and then insert, include only slightly better credit hour, include slightly more credit hours and other faculty waivers by unanimous consent.
So moved.
Ooh, that did not work. Yeah, that's all the amendments. I think I'm missing one, but I can't find it.
Well, I move to amend the same clause, the same whereas clause to include in fees after $56.71.
Yes, that was it.
By unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. Where did it go? All right. Are there any more amendments? Any motions this time?
To pass SSB 2024-1439 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. We're now in line for 1440.
I'm gonna head out, guys.
See you later.
He's pushing finally. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yup. So fun.
Can you get something?
record, we have 6 pages of minutes so far.
Huh?
Can you get something?
Dude, I'm writing something so that if you're here for a committee meeting, you don't have to pay for parking. Because I'm getting killed.
Yeah, it's $10.
$8.25 to get that 25-cent processing fee out of here. Like, come on, you're charging me $8 for parking at my own student union.
What processing fee? I'm sorry, but
The entire Senate's going to be attending committee meetings.
we could put our Senate friend to that.
I know. I've proposed it to several people. I think we can do
Blake is
it.
the treasurer. I think this is a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Blake has a parking spot though. He might just be like, screw y'all.
Yeah, he does have a parking spot.
Isn't it Rambo?
Wait, what
Yep.
positions get parking spots?
President broke out. And then the executive ticket. Okay.
How much money they
Okay.
save.
Good luck with the rest of it.
Huh?
Actually, that's actually a lot.
Do I hear a motion for recess till called back by the chair?
So moved.
By unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes.
This one I was.
I
Like,
call this
reading-
meeting back to
That's
order
fair.
at 10:25 a.m. Monday, July 8th, 2024. May every person in the room please state their name for the record.
Joshua Yachik.
Alex Weirix.
Adriana Sena.
Matthew Bravo.
Aaron Ruba as chair. Senator Monson as clerk.
Austin Britton.
All right. With 5 members present, quorum is still present. We're now in line for SSB 2024-1440. 5 minutes presentation whenever you are ready. Let me wait for the timer. Yeah.
Specific issue.
Go ahead.
Specific issue, healthcare. Just goes into what data grind care currently is, some of the different things, how it exists, how it gets improved, a lot of the issues with it, which are very many, as shown by the number of whereas clauses, things that should be added to it, and then some resolutions say it should be included, improved to include a lot of these issues that are currently faced. It's a bit of a longer one, but it's for healthcare, it's always going to be complicated, so it just takes longer to kind of go through the different issues, the different parts of it, which is unfortunate, but I wait the rest of my time.
Actually, don't. Can you not wait for the rest of your time?
I don't wait the rest of my time.
Okay. Just so everyone can read through it.
Talk about how the day's been. I'm pretty sure I'm a sponsor, so.
Yeah, you can talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, question.
Thank you.
UF track is absolutely like indomitable. Like we're absolutely killing it. Same with swimming, same with golf, same with tennis. We just need more coverage on them.
Look, you're just the best ever.
Didn't Ben Shelton move to the next round in Wimbledon?
He did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's also crazy facts. I also just want to reflect on how many absolute studs of runners come out of Jacksonville, Florida. It's like we've gotten
There's a
3 of
resolution
the youngest
to get 9.
sub 4-minute miles in the history of the world. That's all I'm gonna say. And I ran against 2 of them, and I got smoked.
Actually,
I ran against Charles Hicks and what was the other kid's name? I forget his name. Reinhard Harrison. Those 2 guys.
oh,
Yeah,
I know
he was,
him.
Yeah, he was wicked. He did a 3:57 mile.
Wow, oh my god.
He was cooking.
I'm guessing he won states.
Oh, for sure. He
Yeah.
dusted everyone. But yeah, seeing that tall, lanky kid with his very interesting mullet, like, I don't know if you saw his mullet.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting mullet. But it was like the straight hair. Like, imagine my hair, but blonde and like super long in the back. That was just, oof. I could not ever have a mullet.
No.
You don't want a mullet?
No, not the slightest, no.
It's pretty wicked.
No,
Are some of these the same warehouse classes?
it shouldn't be.
Oh no.
I don't think
You're
so.
right.
I hope not.
What is this one? 1440?
1440.
Yeah, remember. I've been copy and pasting this, honestly. It's pretty helpful.
That's pretty good.
Roughly the same way each time. It's pretty similar. Oh, we have 6 pages of minutes so far.
Nice.
Doing
Beautiful.
clarity sakes. Excuse me.
Sorry, I should mark you.
Yeah, no, really.
How much time is left?
There's 2 minutes. I stopped at
Oh.
30 seconds.
30 minutes.
Perfect.
The guides left.
Yeah. The last 2 are like short, so. Those are the conversions. I think this is one of the longest ones, so.
I see Benny's able to come back to class. I don't know. Maybe y'all are hoping he doesn't.
I still gotta go to class at like 12:15.
Yeah, Danny's class actually gets out. Come back. All right. Everyone had enough time?
Almost.
Okay.
Why are you judging?
All right. We good?
Yeah.
All right. We're now lined for 5 minutes of questions.
So in here it says the third therefore clause expanding paternity care. What does I know it's father of like a newborn child, but like what specifically do they offer?
Well, right now, kindergarten does not offer anything.
Okay.
So this would just be saying including anything to help with paternity care, including helping with funding, helping with paternity leave, things like that. So
You would be in favor of? Well, do they offer maternity leave?
not through kindergarten care.
Gotcha. So would you be in favor of?
I would be in
offering
favor of that. I
maternity
didn't want to
and
say
paternity?
specific like I want maternity leave and paternity leave for like this many weeks. I want to be like improve the care around paternity and paternity care. So
Gotcha.
I try to be very general as like anything helping that is beneficial, and I think it should be included.
So currently, right now, under Gator Grad Care, there's no emergency and urgent care services?
There,
Or is it just like limited to specific?
it's very limited. You have to be in network for all of these things.
Okay, okay.
And it's not affordable by any means. So
do graduate assistants have access to the same like CWC resources as other UF students?
I believe it runs through the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the Board of Trustees' relationship with GGC?
They're the ones who make the decisions on how all bargaining goes with the different units. So they're the ones who have to sign off on what Gator Grad Code looks like. As far as like a specific person that applies to it, there is, the president of UF Health, but I'm not sure for their logistics, how they go through what company they bargained with to determine the actual cost that they pass on to everyone else and like what they go through for that.
All right. Okay, actually, I don't really have a ton more questions. Yeah. This is I'm gonna be very it's just for debate actually. Never mind. Any more questions? Seeing none, 5 minutes of debate. This is great. This is too long. Like it's way too long. There's just like health is one thing. There's just too many specific things. Like also top 5 university again, public university. We need to change that, unfortunately. But yeah, there's just this is dental emergency. It's vision, psychiatric services, therapy, counseling. There's just so many different things in here. There's just so many things in here.
Is there any way to like condense them, like make umbrella statements, that sort of thing?
I don't know. I will say for like one that I have like a solution for if I don't know, but there is one, I forget which number it is specifically. It's the LGBTQIA plus resolution from this. Do you know which number that is?
I think it's 1444. Section 3.
Okay. Was there another one? About so like this bill had mixed in. I thought it's actually not the same. I thought this bill could we could put the points from this one about the LGBTQ plus whereas clause into the other one, but because it's just I thought we could move it and have it be part of that so it was relevant, but it's just not the same intent. I think like these are all great points. It's just very long and very like this is kind of the same point I was making about other stuff a while back, on just it limiting the efficacy of the resolution through its length, because it's asking for just a lot of things, which all these things could be asked for, but yeah, I think we should table this. I just think I don't know how to address it right now. But yeah, that's my opinion. There's just so much stuff.
I agree. We should table it. It's too long, and the problem not only just like reading this and trying to figure out everything it says. The problem is you're having a resolution to use this to go somewhere to get something done, correct? No one's gonna read it if it's really long, like if you send it to them. So making it as concise but effective as possible would probably be the best option. Like this is, I don't know, like this is like 5 pages or something like that. If you could find a way of making it more concise, then I'd be open to, or well, tabling this and then making it concise, and then I'd probably pass it.
So, is the solution then to break it up into like several smaller resolutions?
I don't think that would be the best idea
No.
because healthcare is so
Yeah, it's overarching,
expansive, and I
yeah.
think that this is pretty concise. I agree. We can cut off a few whereas clauses to make it a little bit shorter, but he's covering a lot
Yeah.
under healthcare, and if we break it up into multiple resolutions, I feel like it's not going to be the best.
Do we want to try and like start?
Why don't I?
Condensing and see how we
Yes.
feel?
Why don't we try to make this specifically related to, like, pick a couple of the points that this contains. Like, let me go back to it.
I mean, the RECs, that's one statement. Then he has about, like, that there doesn't include any additional dental coverage, about vision coverage,
Yeah.
the emergency, urgent care. I see what you mean. I think that we
Like-
can just cut out some.
All right, that is time. Lay the committee to rest. All right. Okay. Because this is in support of implementing new services, decreasing the costs of other existing services, different groups that are affected by these services, and how we should address them separately. Like, it needs to be like one of those, and we can probably just strike clauses until we get to something that's just more condensed. Like, which points do you think are the most
I think
emergency, addiction, and mental health? Like, there's quite a few. Like-
I think the main goal is trying to sell the gated guard care is not great and deserves these improvements, right? That's what we're trying to go for. So I think
Yes.
I think if the starting clauses to get rid of probably the ones that go more into each one. So for example, on the first page is a whereas clause that says it provides limited dental coverage. The next two after that are just helping with that, and those could easily be struck without losing anything from the bill, right? And I think there's a lot of areas like that where I introduce an issue and then I go more into it. And I think those ones that go more into it, if you're making it more concise, would be the ones to, I would say, to strike without losing anything immediately.
So you want your main focus for this to be like calling for the implementation of additional services?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then,
Yeah, I'm just going through the therefore clauses, and so we have, like, I assume the primary intent is that you would like it to say that the Senate supports the negotiation and implementing improvements to GGC. Like these therefore let it be resolved clauses are asking for entirely different things. Given they're under the umbrella of health, but these aren't even like that related. In terms of like these are all very specific requests and different requests. Like the second to last therefore let it be resolved clause and the last let it be resolved clause. Those are like general, like, oh, we need to improve the health care for grads. Like, this is a health care bill. It should be overarching on health care as a whole. As going into calls on engage in negotiations is fine. That's supporting the effort of GAU. That also makes sense being in there. But like the one specifically about RECs, the one specific about like affordability. Like these are very different things. Substance abuse, treatment, and addiction. Yeah, like this, I think if it were kept broader and just overall that grads, like if we, there's just too many things to do. And frankly, I have been letting the committee at rest a lot. I understand we want to get through these all in order, preferably, but this is going to take a long time. I think we should revisit this. If you have time after, I can, like,
I
if,
have stuff going on after this.
Okay.
I might be able to talk in like the next week or so.
Yeah.
Um,
just this, I think this needs more amendments than we can make in the time we have left. That's my opinion of it, yeah. All right, I call this meeting back to order. We're now in line for 2 minutes of final privilege.
Yeah, I mean, it's about healthcare. It is, I think, very important. Obviously, it's long because healthcare is a very complex topic. I'm open to trying to figure out how to shorten it up. I would love for all these things to be in the same week. I understand that we might not get through all of them to make them all in the same week regardless. I will respect whatever the committee decides, and I wait the rest of my time.
I move to table SSB 2024-4240 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. We're now in line for 1441. .5 minutes presentation, whenever you're ready.
This is about housing. So this is going more into how housing has changed over the past decade. Rent burden, limited graduate housing, kind of connecting it to graduate students who have a really rough time of affording an apartment without going into stipends, because we've already done that. And then in addition to these issues with finances, there's also issues with the rules that graduate students are put under while they stay at graduate housing. And so it's reaffirming some earlier resolutions that have passed, and then going through to say that we should have more graduate housing, it should be affordable, and they should be treated like adults and not children. And I wait the rest of my time.
Wait, could you still not wait for the rest of your time?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Everyone good?
Yeah.
All right. We are now in line for 5 minutes of Q&A. Beginning now.
So just summarizing this, basically you define rent burden as being more than 30% of one's income on housing, and you're trying to basically eliminate that from your graduate housing.
That's not my definition, that's just how rent burden is defined. I didn't think it was a source because you can just Google rent burden, that's what it's generally defined as. But yeah, the goal is graduate students shouldn't be rent burdened, especially when they're living on campus, and the university sets how much they're getting paid and how much they're paying for rent. If they're setting both values, they shouldn't be rent burdened.
Gotcha.
What is defined as graduate income stipend specifically?
Yeah.
Okay. You can only live with family members?
No.
Only
You can live with like people related to you, but if you are not like if you have a significant other and you're not married, you can't live together.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, you can't have a roommate or anything like that.
Why?
It's a strange
It
choice.
says
That's
that.
right. That's why we're talking about it. It's
Yeah,
an
that's
issue.
really
Yeah.
Call
odd.
it beds at UF, not rooms as well.
Yeah.
It's very
It also says that they don't permit vehicle repairs and maintenance on their property.
Yeah, that's just like a rule in their book, and like I can get it in some areas where like you're not allowed to do it, but they're also not in the thing. It says like they're not allowed to do any maintenance, including like opening your hood and checking like your oil levels and things like that, right?
Oh,
Which
it-
just seems like really like
It says
pedantic
that
to make this a
specifically.
rule, right?
Yeah, a little
It
bit
says that
restricted.
specifically.
I
in the-
believe so when I was reading through it. It was a couple weeks ago, but like yeah, and that's
and
why I was like, let me write that in there,
And then for the pets, they allow service animals, but not
like
if they're
general-
not
Yeah.
service animals.
Yeah.
I also don't know if you're familiar with the size of the those rooms.
Yeah, they're very small.
All right. Any more questions? Seeing none, we're now on 5 minutes of debate.
Okay.
I think this is good, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think it deviates too far from housing or housing issues specifically.
The only thing I'll say is about the pet thing, which again, like I agree with putting it in there, but they've
Yeah.
tried to do this in the past, and the problem was that people would essentially just make a mess of it, and they've had instances where they've implemented it, and the university's always kind of gone back on it. So I just don't know if like even if we put it in there, if it would be, they would probably immediately shut that part down.
I feel like that's
It's fine. to
that's a
put
job
in.
for like the
Yeah.
negotiations.
Yeah, it's fine. But
Yeah, I think this is fine. Like proviso stuff.
Yeah.
All right, any more debate?
No, nothing.
Okay.
I move to amend SSB.
2 minutes of final privilege.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, now, yeah.
I move to amend SSB 2024-1441. Do I have to say the bill number
No.
again? Oh, awesome. Striking 5 in the first whereas clause by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, motion passed.
Okay. Move the proviso real quick.
Do I hear a motion to strike
Curtis.
Curtis Reynolds, John Brinkman, and Dave Kratzer from the proviso by unanimous consent?
So moved.
Why Dave Kratzer?
Senior VP?
Yeah.
I mean, we can. You could object.
I'm trying to think. That makes sense.
Okay. Any objections? Seeing none, motion passes.
I move to pass SSB 2024-1441 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. So I'm amending it now. Okay. We're now in line for SSB 1442.
Yeah.
Five minutes presentation whenever you're ready.
So this goes into anti-union legislation, which is kind of several years of different legislation types. So it goes into a little bit of the background, what the unions are, what Florida stands at. Starts in 2018, we work up to 2023. Basically the format is I talk about a bill, I talk about what it did, and then I talk about the next bill and what it did, so I kind of separate it into these little chunks. There's obviously a lot of them. Some of them get more information than others. SB 256 is the most recent one, so it gets the most kind of talk about it. But we also have things like SB 1746 and SB 266 that do specific things as well. And so then we resolve that these legislations are harmful to unions. We don't want them to continue to exist, and we commit to enjoying the benefits of unions and unionization. And I will not wait the rest of my time until I'm told to.
Thank you.
Table smells weird.
Table.
I just putting my head down, it just smelled funky, and I was not vibing with it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to push back my tent.
Thank God.
I was supposed to get blood at 11:30. I was like, or plasma not blood, so I was like, I'll push that back too.
Yeah, might not be
I'm
happy.
going tomorrow at 4 p.m. So right before Senate. I'm a little cranky tomorrow because I'm low on plasma.
I got my blood drawn this weekend. They took 7 vials, and
Dude,
that's why I felt like crap like for the last 2 days.
They take a whole liter of my stuff. And I'm
Oh.
like, it's absolutely heinous. They're like, you have rare blood and plasma. Griffles.
The plasma center?
Yeah. They pay pretty well.
How much do they pay for?
The first 2 times, you get 115.
Oh.
150
So 75 and 75 for your first 2 visits, and then from there it's
How
100
much?
twice a week.
plasma do we take?
A liter.
Do you?
Yeah.
How about?
I
It
don't
takes like
even
an
like
hour.
doing it for the
but
test, but
Yeah.
How far is that from campus?
It's
5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, not far. It's like, it's far, way farther north. Farther north. Like 3 blocks from the police station, I think. I mean, for my environment, it's like 5 minutes. GRIFLOS. It's not that far. It's a good passive income. Dude, if they gave these in the Senate, the actual Spain chairs, it'd be a menace. Yeah. That should be the next thing time. Dude, who really thinks Spain chair?
You still looking at it?
That's just funny, dude. These things are hard to choose. I was wearing my Crocs, or these in here, and I said, I gotta wear your Crocs. We're on too many people. She's still here.
I'm just not gonna speak.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to recess? Oh, never mind, Harrison. I guess I can't even make the motion, so.
At this time.
All right. We're now in line for 5 minutes of debate, I believe. Q&A?
Q&A.
Q&A. My bad.
Would you be open to amending some of the verbiage in this resolution? Things like the Student Senate warns the Florida State Legislature that they will be faced with strong opposition.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a little abrasive.
Yeah.
I get there's like strong emotions. That
Yeah,
come
after
with this,
researching
but
like 5 different legislations,
Yeah.
I was probably a bit bitter, right?
I can imagine. There's like a few instances of that throughout here where I think we could be a little softer with our tone. You know, love standing on business, but
Where is that?
It's the 4th.
Yikes.
You know, I think if we change that, it's kind of similar to other let it be resolved clauses, so,
yeah.
right, to protect and enhance union rights.
There's
I think it's kind of redundant to where it says, the second to last one where it says, UF Student Senate urges Florida Legislature to repeal the Senate bills and enact legislation that supports and strengthens the rights of workers and their unions. So maybe taking out that other, the 4th, therefore let it be resolved.
That makes sense.
yeah. And then I feel kind of similarly to the final resolution clause that the Student Senate like strongly opposes any future state legislation. Like I agree, I don't like legislation that undermines union rights, but that kind of leaves up to interpretation like what a bill that undermines union rights is, and then that sort of locks us into strongly opposing potential bills in the future that we may not so much strongly oppose. Just kind of like a big blanket statement, you know?
Okay.
So if you would be open to that.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Or what about changing the language to say they opposes any future states' efforts to undermine union rights? That's good.
Here's the thing, though: if the state passes a law, right,
Mhm.
and that's legally binding, obviously, so we wouldn't want to encourage any sort of effort to undermine legality in the state.
Yeah.
That's my biggest concern.
What if you just say opposes any attempts that seek to undermine union rights, doesn't connect to the laws, and then you say any attempts that undermine union rights?
Here's the thing, though: then we get into like definition of what do you view as an attempt? Because if the bill gets passed, right, and then we say, right, it's a bill that maybe you would say, okay, you think that opposes union rights, right?
Yeah.
And then the bill gets passed, and then where does that fall into, right? Would that then be us going against another law, even though it would start out as an effort, if you kind of follow the track of what I'm saying.
So it's a big issue with opposes. You don't want
I just-
opposes says we don't agree like it exists, or like
No, like as in more that once we start in sort of encouraging opposition to, encouraging not following lawful, acts by the state, I just feel like that's a slippery slope for us specifically as a student government funded by the state.
right. I mean, like the idea is not to say we should like go against the law. It's just
Yeah.
like we don't agree with any attempts that do this, right?
Yeah.
We know that they're a law, we have to follow them, but we don't agree that they should take actions to continue doing that. And it might just be that it's best just to remove that, because I think other clauses go into like different aspects
Yeah.
of what I just said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Agree.
Do you get what we're saying though?
I get it, yeah.
Yeah.
The attempt is not to say we should violate the law or
Yeah,
any
of
future
course.
law. That's not the attempt.
I also think while we have like 6 seconds left, if we mention like a specific acts
That
or
is
laws
fine.
in the bill, okay,
Sorry.
we'll just move on, sorry.
We have
Well,
debates,
we can
so
get to
gotta-
that debate.
Yep.
Yeah.
5 minutes of debate beginning now.
Okay, I would just say that whenever we get to specific bills or like in that legislation, right? Like I know in here you mentioned Stop Woke Act and some of the others, right?
Yeah.
Like I guess all I'm saying is be very careful, regardless of what type of bill it is, about us saying, oh, it's like, this is really stupid and we just shouldn't abide by it. And I don't think that's what you're trying to do, but I'm just trying to clarify that.
Yeah.
I think that's,
Yeah.
I have
my biggest concern. Sorry, you want to go, Alex? Or,
I have a question for you, Aaron, because you have like a little more experience.
Yeah.
But I feel a little weird about the breadth of this bill, in terms of it addresses specifically graduate student unions, and then in the resolutions addresses addresses unions as a whole.
Yes.
That
So
makes sense.
that is one thing I was going to bring up, is that either this is about state legislation, or it's about UF, like regarding unions, or it's about UF unions. It can't be about both, because we've had, from experience, we've had bills like this, and honestly, bills that specifically mention state legislation are always complicated. Usually it's only referring to one bill, so this is already different, because this is referring to 3. I think we've had 5 in my tenure where they have specifically talked about something that passed at the state level. They have to be very specific, and that is an issue that it brings up both. There's also the question of what it means by eroding the rights of unions. Saying it increases the membership threshold is one thing. Saying it erodes rights is a different thing. If we're saying that it erodes rights, we're essentially, encouraging it to be deemed unconstitutional. I guess that's the goal, but I don't know what specific rights are being eroded.
Are we able to make that verbiage more like causes difficulties along those lines for unions?
There's like 5 or 6 instances of it.
I think it means it erodes the rights in that because of these laws, 42,000 Florida workers have lost their union representation, and that's why there was like a federal lawsuit filed. And then in terms of like the fact that this is state legislation for unions, and what does that have to do with like GAU? I think it affects GAU, the United Faculty of Florida, and then the chapter, the UFF here at UF. So that affects like the unions for faculty and graduate assistant unions here.
I just have a separate point I'd like to go off. Probably other than what I mentioned that Senator Britton did clarify, probably the biggest thing that I take issue with is statements about like attacking academic freedom, things like that. Just because I think that since we would be implying that the state would be attacking our rights as academic students are free, I don't think that's something we want to start going down either. That's just sort of not my prerogative. Obviously the state can do with our student government funding as they'd like, and I don't really want to see that become an issue for us saying something that is up to somebody's interpretation. The first whereas clause, and I think it's mentioned a couple, the third whereas clause it's mentioned.
It mentions academic freedom.
Yeah, it says these attacks on
Third?
academic freedom.
Are you
Oh,
on
wait,
the
I
next
think you're on
bill,
the
or
wrong bill.
1443?
Yeah,
We're on
Or
1443.
4042.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
That would explain
My
it.
bad.
Ready for
That's
the
good.
next one?
Here we are. Sorry.
That is time.
All right, 2 minutes of final privilege.
For some of the points I think were made, I've mentioned the unions here because I think when it's like this kind of thing. We have to say, here's the local impact of these things, but the intent is on a statewide level, here's what's going on and here's the impact. So if it makes sense to lean more into mistaking this, what I've tried to do, here's the state law, here's the impacts statewide, and then here's maybe a connection locally. That's what I've tried to do to make it all connect. But if that's not very clear, maybe there's another way of doing that, but that's kind of the intent. And so it is about graduate unions only in the sense that it's affecting all the unions.
Right.
And I waived the rest of my time.
I was gonna say, am I able to like say something?
Hmm?
Or-
No.
Never mind.
All right, we're in line for any motions at this time.
I move to fail SSB 2024 14. Okay.
So
Okay,
that
okay.
it wasn't by unanimous consent yet, so technically you can't
Yeah.
object.
On the grounds that it contained or that encourages you have to stand in opposition to an existing law by unanimous consent. So,
I object.
All right, the motion's been objected to.
I move to fail SSB 2024-1442. What would I say, by majority?
by roll call.
By roll call vote.
Maybe there's the criteria.
What possible, I guess, what,
What is the criteria you're citing?
yeah,
Oh.
Oh.
What was the thing you
oh,
said?
what, that encourages you have to stand in opposition to.
Which
current
criteria?
law. Oh, implication.
With
Sorry.
implication, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. By roll call vote?
By roll call vote, yeah.
All right. May the clerk please take roll.
I'm typing.
Our first roll call vote in a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We've only had one.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So with Yashik.
I moved to fail.
It's a yes.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's the failure to-
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just go weirds.
Yes.
Okay. Bravo.
Yes.
Okay, and then Sella.
No.
And then the chair. is-
Seeing as my vote does not affect the outcome, I abstain.
Alright.
All right. We're now in line for then a vote of 3 to 1 to 1. That motion passes. We're now in line for SSB 1443. Are you still good, Adriana?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. 5 minutes presentation whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll probably have to leave this for this one.
Okay.
But this is the other half of that bill. Spoke specifically on anti-academic freedom. A tax on higher education in Florida and across Europe, how they affect GAU,
Thank you.
why GAU is important, tying academic freedom to GAU's mission, specific bills, some of the issues that go through them. I've called back to a couple of previous Senate resolutions about some of these bills as they were passed, and in support of, not in support of these bills, but, saying we don't like these bills. And yeah, it goes through a couple of different ones. We have HB 266, HB 7, or SB 266, HB 7, SB 264, and then SB 864, I think just gets a single note or two. And there are a couple of quotes about the overall impact of these bills, and then the different clauses. To protect academic freedom, support DEI programs, and yeah. It's a bit of a longer one. When you get to legislation, there's just a lot of different things you can do. I had a couple of sources that one of them was really good. It went to the overall sum of all of these bills over the last few years and what this lawyer thinks the overall impact will be in the coming years. So I have a couple of quotes from that, and the last few clauses, whereas clauses. And I will wait to waive the rest of my time.
Oh, that's happening. Sorry.
All right. We're now on for 5 minutes of Q&A.
So to summarize what this says, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're citing several different pieces of legislation out of the Florida state legislature in regards to what they would call woke policies, repealing that, and a few different other things about like DEI and stuff like that.
Yeah, and most of these we've had Senate bills on before. This is kind of tying a couple of those things together and going a little bit further in a couple of notes. I found a good lawyer that went through and discussed what they thought the overall impact of these things was. So I thought that was useful to tie them together.
Gotcha.
Would you be okay removing the parts that talked about like the restrictions on property ownership? I know that I feel like you're trying to tie it into the restrictions of like foreign nationals from those countries working at Florida institutions, but I think the property ownership doesn't have like a place.
Yeah, it was a tough one because SB 264 designated those countries as countries of concern, so it was important to note that. And so I wanted to say what else SB 264 is, but those two whereas clause don't really apply to grad students, and then SB 864 expands upon SB 264. So I was trying to build on that. So I agree, those two things. I thought, they are what the bill does, and it feels like it was wrong to not include them, but like they're not very focused on graduate things, so I can agree.
I feel like as you were going through and writing these, you were just getting like more and more angry, which like fully like fair play, I understand. But would you agree that you kind of take like a very like abrasive tone with these that might threaten the integrity of the bill?
I don't think it takes away from it. I think it says, the resolution behind it is, here are the thoughts on the bill. I think there are definitely parts, especially in the therefore clauses, where in our discussion on the last bill, the language, can be made more clear to make sure we are not opposing, following laws. We want to follow laws. And I think amending that to make it less, rough is something I'm amenable to. If you think that it overall is too harsh on that, I would be happy if you would let me work on it again, and I would take an extra week to do that so we don't have another one fail. And I'd be happy to do that if you think that's what is necessary on a larger scope.
Yeah, just playing off of what Senator Warrick said, there is some strong and maybe more improper language here. I see there's one, I don't know what line it is, but it says by Ron himself. And then there's another one, let me, one moment. So it says like disgracefully removes. I get it. I get the intention. I get that these words are meant to really improve like the strength of what you're trying to say. But not only like does it do that, it kind of like it hurts her reputation a little bit because it's not like professional. So when you're writing bills, I'm not like pissed off or anything. Just like keep like make sure it's professional throughout.
Yeah, I definitely, as a note, I definitely didn't leave to me by Ron himself. That was, I didn't know how to end that, so I wrote it in as a filler, and I was like, I'll go back to that, and I didn't, obviously.
Yeah.
And definitely, especially for some of these issues, they're definitely like, they hit a bit hard, so it's hard to say impartial, and I agree with that. And I can definitely take the extra time and make it that more professional sense, because that is the intent behind it, as they build together nicely.
Yeah, I'm just worried, because this is meant to go to someone in, like, the Florida government, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just worried that they see this, they see that language, and then our reputation gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All right.
You'd
How much time's left? Okay.
You'd be okay with, I guess, like the wide range of sort of amendments that we have to make. You'd be fine if we tabled it. Like
I'd be
come
okay with
back
that
and make
for
those
speed's
amendments.
sake,
Okay.
and then I can come back and make sure that language is definitely more neutral. Here is a fact without adding those extra filler words and stuff in there. Yeah, for sure, and making it so it's very clear we're not saying to go against laws.
That sounds good to me.
Okay, so I have a huge issue. I'll wait till debate. Actually, this isn't a question. Okay. Any more questions?
No.
Okay. I have a huge issue. 5 minutes of debate starting now. The whereas clauses at the end of the second page. This is patently untrue. This is just totally incorrect. HB 7 removes teaching about mental and emotional health. That is not the case. Neither is banning teaching about gender and race discrimination. It's allowed to be taught in a historical context. And there's been legal arguments on what it actually was inferred to mean. Bans teaching about systemic racism and critical race theory. First of all, there's different restrictions on higher education than there are on K through 12. I assume we're speaking specifically on higher education in all of these. I know this is untrue because I took a class that taught about CRT last semester. And they do allow for it as long as the professor does not espouse a personal belief on the subject. As long as it is taught impartially and does not take up, I believe the language was a considerable or substantial portion of the course curriculum, it is allowed. So I do have that's a problem because that's just not correct. And the language here I find not good. Disgracefully, unjustly, showing like when we're making resolutions, especially ones of this import that we're sending to important figures and representatives and governors, that showing that bias, just kind of makes us seem like we're complaining rather than using purely facts and evidence and testimony to support our opinions, like throwing in, adjectives and adverbs isn't really a good idea. I've seen this happen before, and I was not a fan of it then. I think I also can't find where it says abhorrent changes from source 8. I controlled F'd it. If it's there and I couldn't find it, I'd love to know where it is. But it just wasn't there. Yeah, and also the fact that this is just about numerous, I agree with the point that including the bills that speak about international students just doesn't necessarily go along with the intent of this, which I assume was about academic freedom as defined in what most of our legislation has stated is purely about curriculum subjects being taught in classes, not about the individuals attending those classes. I think this is a separate topic. We've had legislation specifically about this bill. The entirety of the resolution was about 264. So I just think that's, yeah. Just some of the quotes used to silence and punish the teachings of marginalized histories. Again, some are fine. Some opinionated quotes or statements or things that show what position we take is fine. But as of right now, disturbing public attempt to wrest control, where did this come from? What is this?
That's for Ron himself, yeah.
To wrest control? Jesus.
It's a quote of a quote. That's from the lawyer that did a discussion of it. I'm sorry.
Lawyer. No, that's fine. That's important information. Interesting. But yeah, for me, again, I get what you're trying to do. If this is against specifically HB 7 and academic freedom, fine. But at the very least, you cannot imply things that just aren't true, especially about higher education. That is not a good look for us. So I think this at least has to be tabled and relooked at, because that's a problem. Unless I'm missing something. I don't know if, I just read through the bill again.
Those quotes they're from the ACLU depiction of the bill, which
Okay.
is part of my, because I've tried to understand all these bills at the same time, so that is on me taking their value at face value there.
Yeah.
I think that's also part of the issue, is the fact that we're presenting others' opinions and analyses as our own, instead of saying, I know that you've cited it, but instead of just saying according to or something like that, I think a lot needs to be revisited in terms of the way that you're presenting things you're saying. I align myself very much with this, but in terms of the way it'll look when they receive it, it just doesn't make much sense.
That is up.
All right, 2 minutes final privilege whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I can understand your guys' thoughts. I can definitely agree with the idea of table list. I can change the language around, double check some of those things and make sure that I'm not just taking things at face value. But I think that's definitely a manageable thing to do while keeping the intent that I had behind this. So
For sure.
I wait the rest of my time.
All right. I move to table SSB 2024-1443 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. Okay. Are you out?
I'm gonna have to be out. Yeah.
All right.
Next two sections they should be shorter.
Do you want us to continue with them without you here?
What would you like us to do?
Because from experience, especially with Pelton, he liked us to only review them when he was here. If we get through everything, we would come back, but I assume that we will not. So if you want us to not go over yours, that's fine.
I'm okay reading since we're obviously gonna have more than
Yeah.
read.
Okay.
And we had that one earlier that was tabled as well.
Yes.
So I don't. Whatever you guys decide to do with that this week, I'm okay.
Okay.
with it.
Sounds good.
Sorry for taking so much of your time.
You're good.
I appreciate your guys' thoughts on
These are
these. Obviously,
really
there's
awesome.
a lot going on, and we're
Yeah.
trying to do that many. It can be hard to make sure everything's balanced nicely. So I get that.
Yeah, well done.
I sent
Thank
you
you.
another bill summary of HB7.
Okay,
From the
thank you.
businesses.
Okay, see you guys.
All right.
Here's on left.
So we're now in line for motions at this time. Do we?
Oh, we're
Yeah.
skipping over his.
Oh.
Well,
Right.
we're still in consideration of the bill. That was his final privilege. So
Oh,
We already moved
No, no,
yeah,
we-
we moved.
we moved to table.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
stupid. Never mind.
Who did it? Who made the motion?
I did.
Oh, you did.
Oh, I didn't hear that either.
I didn't
Sorry.
hear it.
Yeah.
My fault.
All right.
That's 43.
Then I move to consider SSB 2024-1451 action.
51, 50?
50.
50.
Oh, 50,
Yeah.
my bad. Yeah. By unanimous consent.
Oh, Jesus.
Any objections? None. Seeing that, motion passes. All right. 5 minutes presentation whenever you are ready.
Let's keep it really short. Most of these that say Agency Head Clarification Act. I really am only changing the word chairperson or chairpersons to agency head or agency heads. That is all that changes on most of these. I wait.
Just
All right.
Point of
Yes.
information. Can we do a block for all these?
I'm gonna permit it because they're
Yeah.
the exact same.
As
They're
the author, I'm perfectly happy.
they're
with
the
that.
exact
Sounds
same
good. 'Cause
intent.
I was reading through all of them. They are all the exact
Which
same.
one?
I'm.
Oh, did you
He
do
missed one.
SGAA? Because I know that's the newest one.
I did.
Okay.
I, to my knowledge, I never missed a single one.
No, here in
Let's
that
take a
one, okay, in that 1450, 221.66, number 5, chairpersons.
Which one? That
Student
one?
budget and provisions chairperson.
Well, I'm not doing
That is a
that's-
chairperson.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's
Oh,
a
that was
committee.
not-
Trust me, that.
Yeah.
I was very particular on these.
Gotcha,
All right.
gotcha.
All right. So
I'm gonna write
Thank
down
you.
which ones we're blocking.
I remember because when I controlled
I
F, I
was
saw
like,
it.
control
I'm gonna
F,
write
I was
down
like,
which ones
No, I
we're
did the same
blocking.
thing.
we could just say it as we go. So
Okay.
this is going to be the first time we do this. We have a new precedent,
Okay,
everybody.
it's gonna be
So,
sucks for the minutes, okay?
Do I hear a motion to create a special rule to create a block of legislation, including the following bills? I'm just going to see the 4 digits of the bill number itself.
Thank you.
1450. 1450. Oh, no,
51 slightly different.
not 51.
I was like, it's
Yeah,
not that
no.
different, but it is technically still something.
Okay, where else? 1458.
Yeah.
1459. 1465. 1469. I said 68 already, right?
You didn't.
Yeah, you didn't say
1468.
67.
No, 67. wasn't it?
Oh, that's
68,
right.
69.
Sorry, y'all. It alphabetizes it, not. Hold on, made it.
1478. 1482. 1484, I believe. Let me check that.
Yeah.
Yep, 1482, 1484, sorry. 1485. 1486.
Yeah. Or,
It's also the same thing. Yeah.
1487. 1490.
you need 1488, so
87's big event as well.
1488. I believe I said 1487 already. Okay.
88's.
I believe that is all of them.
You said 90 as well, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, but you're the one making the motion?
By unanimous consent, no, I cannot make motions.
So
Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. We're now in line for 5 minutes of presentation on the block.
interesting.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it short. As I've mentioned before, almost all these are just clerical changes. They don't really have any significance except making it streamlined through our code. I would.
All right. Seeing that there's no presentation, 5 minutes Q&A. Seeing none, 5 minutes of debate. Let's do it, y'all.
Yeah.
2 minutes final
I'm
privilege.
gonna keep it really, really short. This sucked to do. I'm not.
I don't, dude, this looks brutal.
And keep in mind, I had to reformat all of them.
Yeah.
Because the format screwed up on every single one of them. So I did tab. You know. 'cause
Oh,
you know,
it's horrible.
Tab, space, enter, tab. So this looks like it wasn't anything. This spent me 3 hours. So, hey.
I
appreciate
need
it.
tab M instead of tab
M
space.
true is
So I can see it.
Anyway, I waived the rest of my time.
Huh?
You got
What's
it. Got
tab
it.
M do?
Well, tab, and then so you have to have something there. Otherwise, when you click enter, it'll like reformat weird. So you have to type something. So he puts a space after the tab. I put an M, so I can see it. All right. Do I hear any motions at this time?
I move to pass the block by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. Woo.
Okay.
All right. Let's go back and do some stuff now. We're now in line for 2024-1451.
Okay, this one's actually not that. Oh shoot! My screen is screwing up. Give me a moment.
Wait, this
It's
Yeah.
the exact same. It was in the block for some reason. It's fine.
oops.
It's okay.
Is
The next two are very
1452
similar.
the exact?
52 is just in the 700 codes, but I'm changing it from chairperson to agency head. It's literally the exact same thing.
All right.
But hey,
Yep.
those two, 51 and 52, basically do the exact same thing.
They do.
So I was a little confused at first, but I was like, hey, if y'all want to delve into it, 'cause it's 700 codes, I wasn't gonna be like,
Sure.
no,
Whatever.
That's your prerogative. Anyways, I waive.
All right. 5 minutes Q&A. 5 minutes debate. 2 minutes final privilege on 51.
Waive.
Any motions?
Oh, go ahead, Alex. Yeah.
No, you.
Just say I move to pass SSB 2024-1451 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing the motion passes. 1452. 2 minutes of 5 minutes presentation.
I waive.
5 minutes of debate of Q&A. Jeez. Seeing none, 5 minutes of debate. Seeing none, 2 minutes final privilege.
Waive.
Motions.
I move to pass SSB 2024-1452 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes.
Huge.
All right.
Guys.
We're now in 1453,
All
and
right.
it does something, and it does something really cool.
It does do something. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. It's pretty self-explanatory in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just that, I guess, amendments will be accessible. I think it's very beneficial for both sides because,
Mm-hmm.
as we've seen, some amendments have been dropped on us, and that's not a fun time. We don't like that much. It's more transparency, more clarity, and it gives you both sides time to, I guess, create an argument that's sound rather than having to do it on the fly 10 minutes before the meeting because you just got the amendments. If this timeline does have an issue with Monish down the line, and it's the president, I think it could change. I'm not opposed. I just kind of streamlined it to the exact code before. Otherwise, it should be the exact same. And then I added the IX at the end because, new thing. Otherwise, nothing else changed. I waive.
All right. Okay, 5 minutes of Q&A. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any questions.
No, it's like, does what it says.
All right, 5 minutes of debate.
Let's pass this.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think it is screwed with literally everybody on both sides having this not in place.
About time.
Yeah. The only thing about this specifically applies to amendments submitted before 11:59 p.m. If they are from the floor, this is not the case. But if it's from the floor, it has to be by unanimous consent anyway.
Real.
Sounds good. If the timeline's bad, we'll fix it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think this is good. If Monish has some issue with this, he can bring it up before the Senate meeting, and then I can talk about it. But yeah, I think this is cool. All right. Any other debate?
No.
Seeing none. 2 minutes final privilege.
Wait.
Motions.
I move to pass SSB 2024-1453 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes.
Hey, thank y'all. Let me start.
All right. We already did 1454,
I
right?
was gonna say, did we have it in the block? 'Cause I didn't write in the block before.
Okay. I don't think we actually put it in the block.
You know, it's fine.
All right. 5 minutes of presentation on 54.
You know, it's kind of not related to this bill, but the exclusionary office one, I realize we have to update it to Bridges multicultural instead of Bridges minority. That's a small clerical thing. I'll probably do on the floor tomorrow.
Cool.
Otherwise, same exact thing as the others. I waive.
5 minutes of Q&A. 5 minutes presentation. Sorry, why am I saying 5 minutes debate?
I'm failing this bill.
Okay. 2 minutes final privilege.
Waive.
Motions.
I move to pass SSB 2024-1454 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. 1455.
Okay. So this kind of just didn't make sense to me already about why this didn't exist. Like, these two people, or I guess groups of people, are very important for elections, and they have a lot of, I guess, say in elections, and the things they do and the things they rule, the way they, I guess, undergo an election really impact the student body. So if they have examples of misfeasance, malfeasance, etc., they couldn't be held liable for it, which in my opinion is kind of problematic. Granted, the election commission is supposed to be very, I guess, objective in their rulings, and they should make sense and be very transparent, and they are very communicative. I've actually reached out to them on a lot of issues now, and 3 of their members have been quite in contact with me, and it's been awesome. But this is just, I guess, in case something happening in the future. Because I'm trying to think future, I'm on my way out. I don't really care about my immediate self. I just think about what could happen in the future, making sure everything is sound and that we can just stay accountable within SG. I would.
Okay, now we're in 5 minutes of Q&A. Have you talked to anyone to figure out why these weren't included?
I looked in the Constitution, and to my knowledge, they should.
Because this is a big enough change. I have a feeling there was a reason why they were left out. Yeah.
The last time this... Oh, sorry, I shouldn't talk right now. Actually,
It's Q&A.
Yeah, it's good.
I thought it was a debate. The last time this has been revised is 2016, which is obviously a while, which I'm very confused about why this hasn't been a thing since 2016. Or at least, it didn't change in 2016, like, I should rephrase. This didn't change in 2016, but the fact there has been no change since 2016 amazes me.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have any more questions, I guess. Okay. 5 minutes of debate.
I completely agree with this bill. I just looked it up, and the United States, like the federal government, you're able to censor Supreme Court justices and senators. 9 have been censored senators throughout its history. The point of censoring is just like if they make a statement or do something that's so out of line that we don't want to be part of it, we're basically condemning them, if I'm not mistaken. And if a senator or anyone, or would you add the assistant? Yeah. The supervisor of elections, election commissions member, anyone added does something like that, then we should have the ability to censor them, in my opinion.
So they can be impeached. That is the process in place. Mm-hmm. This is such an oversight that I really would like to know why this wasn't included in the first place. Before we, I want to know if there's a specific reason as to why we couldn't do this. This makes me think that there's something that prevented us from including them in this list. Because we have the 3 branches of government but not the Elections Commission, which makes it seem like it wouldn't be allowed for some reason. So I would like to ask people about this.
Well, was this before it was established, those positions?
No, these positions have been around for a long time.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, this is a very interesting omission.
I wonder if. No. That's really weird.
That's crazy.
This is in the 300 codes. I always wondered why this was in the 300 codes. It's a weird place for them. Yeah, I want to ask people before we put this anywhere because I don't know if this is violating anything, but it very well could be. Yeah, I don't know how you noticed this. Like going through
That's
it.
great.
But yeah, I would like to look at some other stuff. I'd like to table this.
Okay. But if you can't find anything, like,
Yeah.
it should totally be included.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. All right. Any more debate? Gentleman's final privilege.
Keep it really short. I talked to my most reliable history source, and I guess Aaron can attest to it. I talked to Oscar, the former Senate president, and they also didn't know why this was included. So that's just saying something, in my opinion. The fact that they didn't know, they were like, this should probably be a change. And I was like, okay. I was like, keep in mind, I'm more than happy to like table and talk to more people. Like, that's not like, I was like, because same as y'all, I'm very confused as
Yeah,
to
this
why.
is very
Yeah.
confusing.
Like, the Election Commission's rulings and I guess everything they do has a huge impact.
Yeah.
And ASOEs work in tangent with SOE. So I'm like, the fact that the SOE can get censored but not the ASOE, it just made no sense to me. But yeah, I'm perfectly chill with tabling this. I want to talk to more people as well. Whether that's John, SGAO, Jackie even. Jackie is
Yeah.
SGAO, but you know.
Wait, I need to look at something really quick. Where'd it go?
Oh yeah, I also added a period at the end. Not very substantial, but it happens a lot in the codes apparently.
That's an even crazier
Okay.
catch, to be honest.
I lay the committee at rest really quickly. I actually can see what I'm guessing is why they didn't have ASOEs on this list. As for Elections Commission, I have no idea. But they basically have like every chair position, but they do not have the positions immediately below them.
I see.
The only one-
Treasurers, though. That's like why I was confused as well.
Yeah, the assistant. Yeah, they have assistant treasurers and assistant associate justices, which I guess are not really
That-
lesser.
To my personal equivalence, though, an ASOE is like the equivalent of that, though.
But like they
don't
have
have, like-
agency heads, but they don't have vice chairs or.
There's so many.
ADs.
Yeah.
Like, I could see. I kind of see why. This might be the reasoning that someone used at some point in time to not have ASOEs. Like that makes slightly more sense. EC though, I have no idea. That's okay. Call the committee back to order. Still a minute left of final privilege.
With that in play as well, I'm just like, as well, I just want to talk to more people about
Yeah.
it. But at the same time, the ASOE has such a bigger role than, I guess, a vice chair of an agency or a cabinet, or an assistant director, rather, for a cabinet. They're very different positions. ASOEs can fully, I guess, alter the trajectory of an election, which is one of the most important things here at the university within SG. So I personally feel it makes sense, but again, I want to talk to more people, same as y'all. Finding out who to talk to is important, I guess, in regard to this. So I would.
All right. Any motions at this time?
I motion to table SSB 2024-1455 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. All right, we're now in line for 1456.
She said the name.
The Censure Record Accessibility and Publication for Students Act.
Craps.
What is It's so good.
5 minutes of presentation whenever you're ready.
Okay, so this was something that I It has previously been submitted similarly by former Senator Rajamia. However, I added a decent bit too at the same time. Maybe 305.91 was passed at one point, but it's not in the codes, so at least it doesn't exist at the moment. So maybe I'm adding it back. I don't know, but to my knowledge, it shouldn't have been removed from the first place if it was. But yeah, feel free to read through this. This is something that just is about accessibility of censures, basically, and making sure that they are accessible, and just affirming it. Excuse me. Also, with removing, I guess, censures that, which one is it? It's 305.92. I was like, you can read it. It's better wording than what I can explain at the moment. But if someone's acquitted, making sure the censure is like gone, rather than, I guess, smear their name longer than it needs to be, especially if they were acquitted or exonerated. Now that I think about it, maybe I need to look at the expulsion stuff too to see if it's similar.
Okay.
Oh wait.
5 minutes of Q&A.
Why 48 hours? Out of curiosity.
I just feel it's a realistic time frame to get it off the website. It could that time frame doesn't really matter to me. It's not like a make it or break it. That was just something that was suggested initially. To my knowledge, is also something for expulsions.
Also, kind of the same point I was telling Senator Brennan with, I believe, his last piece of legislation. The UF student government website is open to pretty much anyone to view, and its bills and minutes, whatever, are open to view. And I suggest that if you're open to it, please amending the title to maybe a more like appropriate name. We could keep like the similar wording, but maybe not
get rid of the
crafts.
acronym. Don't worry. Like in the proviso, I didn't include the acronym for a reason. I just wanted to have it in the committee at least.
Okay.
I wanted to just display some creative intellectual ability for a moment. But yeah, I was more than happy to just get rid of the name. Don't worry. I was like, I've had some funny names passed, but I'll be professional. Don't worry.
Super profesh. Is so like in 305.90, is that sort of thing, like that sort of mission statement common within like legislation that gets passed?
It's not
I feel like I haven't seen it very much.
It's not uncommon per se. It gives, I guess, clarity and intent as to why
Right.
this specific code exists, and I guess affirming it. It's definitely not the first of its kind. I actually quite literally copy and pasted it very
Yeah.
similarly from a different
Yeah,
code.
that's a common thing.
Yeah, it's from a different code that I quite literally copy and pasted. So
All right, any more questions? Outline for 5 minutes of debate. Yeah, so there was a bill that did this. It was not all of these clauses, but it was several of them, and I think they were identical, or very similar. I don't know what happened to it.
I can't speak now.
No, you can't. If it passed, then this is redundant. If it was failed after spring, then this is dilatory. You can't submit legislation that was failed since the last validation. So, I don't know when it was submitted, what happened to it. So I have no idea what to do with this. Because, I agree. There's also a slight clarity issue, in my opinion. I don't know how we're dealing with PRRs. So it talks about removed from the website, but it's available by public record request. Is the point not to get rid of it if they're found innocent? I don't really know. I don't know if we're required to keep that by law. I'm sure he'll answer that in his final privilege. But yeah, depending on what happened to that other bill, we can or cannot pass this, and I'm not sure. So I can talk to other people. I can talk to SGAO, the secretaries, but yeah. Okay, any more debate?
Yeah.
Seeing none, final privilege.
Okay, this is my 99.999% answer to that. It was submitted before spring election, and it was procedurally withdrawn. Because it was when Rogers was, I don't know if you remember, but the Department of Labor Act was something that we all debated until the last moment. This was the one right
Yes.
after it.
Oh, okay, that would explain. Yeah, that bill was a
This
lot.
was the one right after it. So it wasn't failed or like passed of any sort. To my knowledge, it was procedurally withdrawn, and Raj wasn't a senator anymore, so it just kind of went into the ether.
Lost the time.
As well as the title, I'm more than willing to do that. Get rid of it. In regards to the PRR thing, it's just showing that it's not available on the website. Anyone can request it. It just would say that they're exonerated or acquitted from it. It would have the actual proof that they are not guilty of the censure or the charges against them. It would have that record rather than just being on the website saying they are getting censured. Because if it says that they're getting censured, meanwhile it's been resolved, kind of defeats the purpose of them being exonerated or acquitted. Another way.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can find this really quickly. It was passed.
To what?
Yep.
Sick.
305.90. It's called 2020. It was, oh my god, it was the second bill
Yeah,
ever.
It was 1001.
Yup.
Wow.
If it's on the website,
It can be on the website, not passed though. It just has to pass judicial.
you think the first bill ever stayed on the Senate floor for the entire semester?
I generally don't remember it getting passed, and I feel like it would have been updated in the codes, and I know it wasn't failed. I know that for a fact, because we never got to debate this bill.
Is this the exact same language?
No, it's slightly different. There's a little bit of differences. Some are exact, because I asked Raj, I was like, hey, do you have better wording? He goes, I wrote it. So.
Okay. I'd love to know what happened to that.
We can table it.
Yeah, let's table it. Okay. Are there any motions this time?
I move to table SSB 2024-1456 by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. Yeah. Oh, what is the Chair Act?
This is an old one. AJ didn't like. You were actually gone this meeting. This is the
This is the one I was gone?
Yes.
Oh,
This
fuck.
one pissed me off.
Oh.
I don't want to name certain names of the committee, but oh my god.
No, I was there for this.
You were there for this
I
one?
was there for
Which
this
was
one.
Failed? Maybe which
Yes.
one of them was failed when you weren't there.
It wasn't this one. I was here for this. Okay.
This one
5 minutes of presentation.
Okay, so this is one that was realistically I don't see it going through, but I feel like it'd be nice. It's one of those things I feel like it just would be nice. Is asking for 1 hour a month to be accessible to the student body, which granted these meetings are accessible. I understand that. However, you can't really walk in here and talk when this meeting's going on. Sure, you can talk before or after. You can, I guess, see it, how it goes. But this 1 hour could get people involved in legislation, learning how to write it, or however they want to talk. This is regarding judiciary. This is just, I'm talking about every single standing committee chair having 1 hour a month to hold a session. Just open to the public, up to their discretion. If 1 hour is too hard, we can fix that. If it's 1 hour a month, we can fix that. The time frame, I realistically don't care. I was like, that was one thing, because it used to be 3 hours, which was a little bit much, I think. But, again, and then also, I've revised it a little bit, because it used to say that, like, SG had to provide a space for the committee, which the committee usually reserves to themselves through SGL. So I revised that. It's a very small thing, saying that it has to be publicly noticed and accessible, whether that's on the SG website, whether that's on the board. Who cares? I don't really care. I just wanted to have access 1 hour a month, because realistically, when I'm out of Senate, I would like to talk to a chair every so often if I need to. Whether that's email, I guess those get swept away. Let's be honest. Yeah. I tried to email people when I wasn't Senator. It did not get responded. It kind of sucked. I was like, dude, I just lost my election. You're not talking to me. This sucks. But hey, ask questions, feel free. If there's issues regarding time, just the wording, feel free to amend it. This is one thing I just like a lot. I wave.
5 minutes of Q&A.
This is a little curveball, but on average, how many people do you think are going to come to these sessions per month?
My opinion is 1 hour a month. Who cares? If someone shows up, that's awesome. If not, congrats. It's one of those things. I would love to have people to know about it so they can get involved in student government. This is promoting people to get involved rather than will they show up. Because if it's known, people might show up. If not, nobody knows about it. No one's gonna show up.
I think it adds additional responsibility to a chairperson to spread the word about being involved in SG, and then it also makes us like liable if we don't commit to this. It's already difficult as it is. I think this is more debate, but like, yeah. I don't know. I think
I have some questions.
Go for it.
Okay. If the R&E chairperson holds an informational forum, what in the world would the students ask them?
Constituency. How to
The
constituent
They're
entails.
not
the student body would ask them about constituency.
Maybe.
If
One
I
of those things, who
if
knows?
I were to hold an informational forum, what would the student body ask me
Anything
about?
about legislation. You are the judiciary chair. You deal with all legislation that's non-budgetary.
Thank you for quoting the rules of meeting.
Exactly. We'll get to that later. I have a good thing with this committee later. Yeah, I'm not trying to die in this hope for this one.
So
but-
you're envisioning like chairperson office hours, basically.
I don't want to verbally say the word office hour because that's one thing. Will they get paid? Will they not? Because some people get paid for those office hours. Some people don't.
You get me paid, I'll do it.
I'll put that in the SG funds if you want that for the Senate line. Hey,
No, I'm not gonna waste funds on myself.
could be money
For
laundering
1
in some
hour.
way, but yeah, that's one of the things as well. I'm like
$500 an hour. That's my asking price.
$500 for 1 month. Wow.
Mm.
for 1 hour, 1 month.
Dude,
Yeah, that sounds sick.
livable wage.
Okay.
All right. Any more questions? We're in line for 5 minutes of debate. Okay.
Like you said, Adriana, sometimes it's difficult to get people to do things already, you know? I just don't. I wonder how easy it would be to even get people to, like,
I think it would
About
take a lot of
us.
effort,
It would be
and
a lot.
I don't think that there's an insane demand for this outside of former senators that want access to the chair people, and yeah.
Go for it. No, you're good.
I mean, I agree. This Senate's a publicly posted meeting. This is actually a publicly posted meeting. The only person from the public I've seen is Tyler, beside former senators, and I actually attended a few in the spring just to see what it's like before I became a summer senator. But if there's such low of an attendance for a publicly posted meeting, these meetings, being also that there's no member of the public here, I doubt that people are really going to show up, and I feel like this is just wasting people's time.
Yeah. I feel like this can be addressed through like IMC, like hosting informational sessions that are advertised to the public, but just like not necessarily, like, I don't know, like you said, like no one's
Different
gonna,
town
like,
halls.
pull up.
Town halls are a whole different question. Okay, so thank you guys for. I thought I was gonna be the only one who had issues with this. 1 hour is not a problem. It's not the timing. I just don't know what I'd talk about. I don't know what most of them would talk about. Budget is the only one where I can see a student org coming in and having questions for them, but they also have meetings specifically for that. And I also am required to do constituency and tabling. So I am out there 2 hours, a constituency period, where anyone can ask me whatever question they want. I stay late at every Senate meeting. I come early. I always talk to literally everybody who has a question for me, particularly Tyler. So, I mean, I don't think this is really clear or useful as to what it would provide the students with that they don't already have access to.
I think your idea is good in nature. It's just the students wanting to know more and they kind of ask questions as opposed to like directly reaching out. I think, and I don't mean to rip on INC here, but I think you could probably do something through social media, which INC currently doesn't. Maybe posting on your story, like you know on Instagram stories how they have that little like question box or whatever, and we'll get back to you. and like we post that on the story, maybe they could do something like that. But I don't think that this necessarily is a great idea.
All right, any more debate? Seeing none, 2 minutes of final privilege. Go for it.
I feel bad. I kind of like gave y'all a curveball because guess what? These are open to senators too. So hey, you could talk to every senator you wanted to. This is a moment that you can get there, clear up any concerns. We saw the R&E stuff that happened a couple weeks ago. And Shauna beat the case actually. Kudos to her for that. But hey,
Beat the case.
1 hour a month where someone could sit there and realize, what do I have to do? Senators included. So I feel bad. I kind of like gave you half of it. But I wanted to hear your debate. I wanted to hear your argument. Again, it's one of those things that people come to you with whatever they want, whatever they need from you. It's not what you can do for them. It's what they are going to offer you. What do they need from you? What are they going to propose? What are they going to ask? And again, it's 1 hour a month. If you sit there in silence for 1 hour, do your homework. Like, sure, it's mandated, but it's not that difficult. Unfortunately, the INC suggestion, great, thank you, I appreciate it. I have very little faith in INC, no hate to them. But the meet your senators thing, how many people showed up to that? Which again, this could be a counter argument to this. I get it. But that's a meet your senators, not senators talking to the committee chairs, because again, transparency, talking with these chairs, because sometimes it's hard to get into contact, sometimes it's hard to talk to them. I remember in the spring semester, I tried to talk to Ponce multiple times. She was just very busy, and I wanted to talk to her about one specific thing. If I had 1 hour in the whole month, we could have done it. But again, it's not something I'm trying to die on. It just seems like it'd be nice, it'd be accessible. Hence the name, committee hours for accessible information. Like that's why I wanted it. Just that accessible. I tried.
I like chairs. I think that's a good acronym.
Thank you. It's chair for the chairs.
I decided
Creativity.
All right. Are there any motions?
I moved to fail SSB 2024-1457 by unanimous consent.
What is the criteria?
Oh, under implication.
Oh, God.
I saw
By
you.
unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes.
I can probably get through one more, and then.
All right.
Which one's the next one?
Is it clemency? That is the next
Yeah.
one.
Oh, this one's so simple and nice. This one's so simple. Are we ready? Do you want me to just go? Because it's going to take like 20 seconds to explain. So, in my opinion, we haven't been following the codes when someone does do something with amendment or something in the amendments to the agenda, not by unanimous consent. In theory, they should be getting a warning right away, which, again, if it's dilatory or disruptive, I feel like the chair should be able to issue that warning if necessary, instead of just being like, you automatically get a warning. That's a little scary. That's the clemency part. The designation is the last part with indigenous line acknowledgement. A lot of the time, Monish calls on someone, which by these codes, he could actually be censured for, which is very stupid, but he could. So, or they're designated the chair. So, very simple. I would.
So, oh, sorry, are we in Q&A now? Or?
Yeah, Q&A. Go for it.
So does he? All right. So I'm actually asking this as just a general point. Does he like actually just call on somebody random? Like I thought he asked them, "Do you want to read this?" Puts the pamphlet in front of them,
Wait,
right?
can I answer that? Because I did.
Okay, go for it.
He just he basically he comes up to you with like a card that has the whole indigenous land statement and asks you to read it. It's it's really long, so.
Yeah, like it's his designate in theory.
Okay, I mean, but
Yeah.
he isn't technically like calling on anyone random, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's just he's designated it to someone.
Okay.
You have an old version. This has already been changed.
Dude, the website needs to get updated. Jenna, you gotta give me the updated version.
Yeah, it's read by the chair of the Senate or any member of the Senate wishing to read the statement
Okay,
at the
we're getting
commencement.
rid of the designation.
This also would have violated clarity immediately. Just so you know.
Yeah, it's clemency and designation. I was pretty clear.
So, yeah, okay.
Okay, that part, just strike it. Darn it,
Okay.
these old copies need to be updated
Yeah.
on the website. I need to do a resolution on that. This would just be the Clemency Act, I guess. Thank you.
All right. Any more questions? Seeing none, 5 minutes of debate. Yeah, the second part has to be stricken for multiple reasons.
Is the first part okay?
Yeah, it really doesn't change anything, I guess. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, the chair of the Senate, is that supposed to be president?
No.
no,
Or no? Okay.
because it doesn't necessarily have to be the president. It's whoever's leading the meeting. Yeah, I think it's fine as long as they're still allowed to be issued. Because sometimes motions are made with different intent. Like sometimes people mess up, and then other times people intentionally speak during the opposite side of a pro-con debate. I'm not going to say who, but that did happen at the last meeting, and that is mandated that it's ruled dilatory, which I think is a good thing, and there have been arguments against that, but this I think is reasonable because usually this is just a mistake. So yeah, I agree with it.
Does it matter that this is an old version of the bill in terms of
No, because
how it goes
the
forward?
section that he's amending is not old.
Okay.
Yeah, because he didn't have to include anything after that technically.
Got you.
Like frankly, we can move to strike everything in this bill after the clause where he amended something, which is fine with me. So, any more debate? Seeing none, final privilege.
Keep it within 10 seconds. Yeah, I had this bill in mind with the new people, just so that they could have clemency. I chose that word for a reason. Wait.
Nice.
All right. Any motions?
Can we move to amend the name? Is that
Yeah.
Okay. I move to amend the title of SSB 2024-1460 to remove and designation by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. Do I hear a motion to amend to strike every clause after the first amendment by unanimous consent?
So moved.
Any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes.
I move to pass SB 2024-1460 by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes.
Clemency.
All right.
Cool.
I saw that. I thought we were doing like pardons for.
No.
Are there any motions at this time?
I move to adjourn the meeting by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned at 12:07 p.m. on Monday, July 8th, 2024.
Bang. I'm going to